Hello, and welcome to a banger.
Oh, we started. I spaced out for a second.
Yeah, we're here.
It's been one interesting morning today, but not morning anymore.
No.
That's an indicator of what's going on today. Hello, everybody. Or, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's my thing. Welcome back. This is episode number 57, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I got my numbers up on fleek.
You've got it, dude.
Yeah, here we are. Here we go. What do we got going on today? We're talking about some things. We're back to talking about things today.
Yeah, we're talking about a movie and we're talking about a game. And that's on the schedule.
Yeah, that's what we usually do. What we usually do here. If you guys couldn't already tell, this is the Dark Souls of podcast. If you haven't heard,
Yeah,
it's the hardest one to listen to.
it is.
Of all time, and every other podcast will get compared to this one because that's how great we are.
I think it is good to save that bomb drop for like a minute in. After people have gotten a chance to hear how hard it is.
Yeah, then they realize. I think it's mostly just our intros that are like always like it's how we start, guys.
Yeah,
It's like a nerdy kid trying to pick up a cute girl.
my cat's smelling my other cat's butt.
It's usually what happens.
I thought that was a dog thing.
No, that's an animal thing, dude.
It's an animal
Animals
thing.
eat ass all the time. They eat poop.
Yeah,
They go further. They nasty.
they sure do.
Okay, so what the fuck are we talking about? We got A Hat in Time.
We do second.
And
yeah.
God damn it. And Requiem for a Dream.
Yes, the movie I
I'm
recommended.
surprised I remember that name.
Yeah,
Even you forgot it.
I kept forgetting it. You watched it before me. We're talking about it now.
I did all the things before you, which isn't very common, I think.
No, yeah, it's usually the other way.
Yeah.
I'm usually on top of it.
You can, normally you're the one that experienced it first, and then you're like, okay, now I'll give it to him. And then you get the easy week, and then I fall behind, because, shit that happens.
Well, luckily this week I'm giving you one that I don't need to do my homework.
Oh,
before.
same. Nice.
Cool.
I got like the next 4 or 5 probably planned out already.
Perfect. Yeah, see, now that we're doing them every 2 weeks, you've got sorry, my mind went somewhere else. You know what I'm trying to say.
I'll just let him-
You're able to stock your Rex better now.
I guess so. I think I'm just like, I've been just, looking at things. I'm like, oh, I guess I could wreck this. Oh, I guess this too,
Perfect.
Hat in Time was kind of like that, where I was like, this is an easy enough game. Short enough. You can get through it. We could talk about it.
Yeah.
Make me talk about it.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into Requiem for a Dream.
Let's just jump right into it. Oh, boy.
So
Who boy?
this should be fun because I loved it. And,
Of course you do.
And I feel like
Nice.
You maybe didn't love it.
No, but that's okay.
I want to know
What do you like
I
about
want
it?
to know what. No. I'm way more interested in what you didn't because this is a very people like this movie. So
right.
You're going to be presenting the interesting case here.
Well, this is based on a first viewing.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
makes
know.
sense to me that people like this.
I'm interested in what you like about it because maybe I missed something. Because you said that Adam, Mr. YMS, gave this movie a 10,
Yeah,
which I felt strange because
on his
don't know,
IMDb, it's locked.
he's one of the very few reviewers where I actually trust and value their opinion.
Yeah,
He's been very consistent with shit.
I
This was a 10. I'm like, huh?
You sounded very surprised by him giving this a 10, and I was very not surprised once it was over. But like, I gotta tell you, I guess I've always been worried that like if we talk about shit beforehand, then our opinions could be swayed. But like, you kind of had me going in like, oh shit, is this not going to be good? But I still came out loving it.
I figured you would. I figured you were gonna come out loving it because that's usually what happens.
Well, not always. Not always.
At least with movies.
I hadn't
music.
seen this. Yeah.
Movies and music usually.
I hadn't seen this, so it really could have gone either way.
Well, I'm gonna preface this with saying I'm open to having my opinion swayed. Again,
Okay.
maybe I missed something. Maybe there's some value in it that I haven't seen. But and also it's on a first viewing, and I'm not 100% confident in like criticism, just like gripes that I have with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna I'm not really gonna argue it one way or another.
Okay.
So it's open, I guess, is the preface.
Well,
that said, I didn't like this movie at all.
At all?
At
Wow.
all, no.
Wow, okay. Shit. Yeah, I am interested in what you didn't like, honestly. Like, much more than I think it's interesting to hear. Because, like, I think people know why this movie's great, but I am surprised you didn't like it.
Why
like,
is the movie great?
I hang on. We'll get there, but I think I've been picking up on you're not always about like super stylized kind of movies.
I disagree.
You do?
I can. It really depends, but so like stylized, that's kind of an umbrella term, right?
Yeah, it is.
What's a movie that you would call stylized other than this one?
Other than this,
yeah, because like stylized, that can mean a whole bunch of different things, you know.
Yeah, let me
mean like all the flair, like gimmicks and shit. Like
just like when you can tell that a director has put their touch on it. Like
Shaun of the Dead is pretty stylized.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Edgar Wright is
I love that movie.
Edgar Wright. I was going to bring him
so
up.
is The Lighthouse, super stylized, and it's even better because that like strengthens the themes of the movie too.
Yeah, it's
and context.
It's hard to
2001: A Space Odyssey stylized.
Yes, Kubrick is a very stylized director. Where the fuck is my list of movies? Because it's kind of like what I mean by that
I'm
is
gonna
like
need more than one of those, by the way.
What your Liquid Deaths?
Yeah, yo, Liquid Death, send us some. I need more. Yo, sponsor us.
I'm trying to think of a director that, like, if you watch it, you know they put their touch on it. Or I haven't seen many of his movies, but so far Wes Anderson seems to have a touch of, like, yeah, this is a Wes Anderson movie.
I don't know, just when you say stylized, my brain goes to, like, Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
Yes. What's the other one?
And that's Edgar Wright. That's Edgar Wright. That's the guy who did Shaun of the Dead. His editing,
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
His editing is very Fantastic Mr. Fox is Wes Anderson. So yeah, we're like on the same page.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. That's what we gotta normally do. Let's knock out some positives then. Okay, because they exist. They're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Acting pretty good.
I think Jared Leto was great.
Performances.
And I fucking don't like Jared Leto as a person at all. So
I mean, me neither, but I didn't recognize him, so I was able to separate, the art from the artist, I guess.
Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit, and he has a sex cult.
Shot composition, pretty good, I think. Pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
Great use of imagery and visual rhetoric.
Mm-hmm. I love some of the shots in here. I didn't take any notes. I've taken the you approach recently.
What's the me approach?
Not taking notes.
I forgot about notes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I forget about them. I just want a more fluid talk, kind of,
I wanted to take everything in. There are definitely there are times when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that, but I don't want to reach down and write a note anymore. I just want to take it in. So, yeah, what didn't you like? Just story? Like
I didn't. Okay, so few things. I guess to bullet point.
What did you actually think wasn't well done, or did it just not hit you?
I didn't like any of the characters.
Is this a John Malkovich thing?
No, I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't find them to be particularly engaging or memorable.
Really?
There wasn't much development across either. It was just kind of like traits and just this is you got the mom, you got the Drea, you got the girlfriend, you got the other friend. Like, I guess what's his name? Tyrone. Okay, it was one of those. Mm-hmm. I think he was one of the better characters, like based on my memory.
Right.
I didn't find it to be that strong of a plot either. And also like just its symbolism was just so on the nose. I didn't think it really had anything interesting to say about it either. Just all its themes were just being hammered across on you, like throughout the whole movie, and it was so blatantly obvious what they were trying to say. It just came across as pretentious.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know. We haven't talked about it much since we've seen it, but that's kind of now that I look on what's it? I'm thinking of Ending Things. It's kind of a similar thing, but I really like that movie still.
Oh, in what way? What are you talking about?
In like that movie, there's nothing really that you're supposed to be taking literally in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then you only find that out once you finish it, and it is just pretty obvious once it's going forward, and like, you know, once not only have you either seen it, but like once you realize that, oh, we're not supposed to take any of this literally. So then where do we go from here? But I think that movie's a bit more flawed in terms of structure than this one.
Really?
Well, just be, yeah.
Okay.
But that's a different topic. It's just in a similar vein for me.
Sure. My cat's being an idiot over here.
Like reading the description of the movie, it's about you know, the whole movie's about, you know, the cycle of drug addiction
of this movie
and all of that, yeah, and like spiraling into that. Now, and my impression of that, I thought, oh, we're gonna get this movie. We're gonna get 2 artists that are like really about their stuff, and then they get to drugs, and then, you know, it'll do all the tismy, you know, stuff with that, and then, you know, it'll show the character going through like this huge struggle and maybe have an arc. It'll either end dark or end good, you know. That's what I thought the movie was gonna be based on the description.
We got a dark movie here.
Well, yeah, I knew it was going to be that way. And it's like, they don't that on its own. Like, that could be worth exploring. You know, that shit happens a lot in real life, obviously.
Oh yeah,
so there's a lot of room to explore things. But then the movie started, and the main character, which is Jared Leto, I think, right?
Yes. Well, if you mean the man, arguably the mom is the main character.
Yeah, the guy that kind of looks like Spenny, but emo.
Yes.
Young emo Spenny.
Yeah, Jared Leto. Harry in the movie, I think his name was.
Jared Leto's the was the new Joker, right?
He was fucking terrible as Joker.
Okay, awful. Yeah, trash, disgusting.
He was in Fight Club too. He was
fucking
good.
Terrible.
He was fine in Fight Club.
We don't talk about the DCEU. No, that's not DCEU. It's whatever, the movies universe of DC, whatever. That was a fucking tangent. Oh yeah, the movie starts and Jared Leto's already addicted to drugs. Like, he's already doing it. So I thought, okay, now this it subverted my expectations in that way. Like I said, I thought we were gonna get like a build up towards that, but we already started here. So I thought, what are they gonna do with this to make it interesting? Like, is he gonna fall out of it? Is he, or I don't know. That's a whole different set of possibilities starting from there and still having a movie about that. But I didn't find it to do anything.
No, you didn't?
He just kind of keeps going, and you get these like sequence of events that don't seem like they have anything to do with each other, which I could be wrong about, but I didn't see
what are you referring to with that?
Like so like the main the main motivation of the movie, I believe, is that, you know, Bad Joker and Tyrone are they're looking for their next score, right? Like, it's a big thing. Like, oh, we gotta get the next big score and all that.
Well, they're trying to make money, so Tyrone wants to get out of kind of, you know, the quote, like the ghetto, like the bad area.
Yeah.
And
it's the ghetto.
and Harry, Jared Leto.
Oh yeah, his name's Harry.
And Marion, I think his girlfriend's name was. They want to sell her designs. So they want to...
She was designing shit?
Yeah. She's designing. She's a designer. They want to sell shirts and stuff. You missed that?
I see. I did miss that, but I'm trying to remember if like the movie even showed that.
Yeah.
Did it? Where?
Mm-hmm. They talked about it, and you can see like at the way end, you can see that like they all, well, the shirts like come back at the end. You can see they're just kind of sitting there when they all lose their shit at the end. But yeah, so they were trying to get into business with selling her designs, and he was trying to get out of the ghetto. He was trying to go somewhere better with his life. So they started selling for that reason. And then they had all that money at the one point, and then it kept going, and that's where it took a downward spiral. Because there's the part where they fill up like the vault with their money, and then eventually all that's gone.
They fill up a vault with money?
Yeah.
Did I watch this? Did we watch the same movie?
Did you watch the same movie?
Did we watch the same movie? Because I don't remember any of that.
Really?
Yeah, which is why I'm not so confident in what I'm saying.
How much were you paying attention?
Pretty, about as much as I normally do for movies.
Okay.
But that's why. Like, that's why I was like, okay, this conversation like should be good because maybe you'll bring up scenes that'll help mend some of these problems I have.
No. They had the money that they needed at one point, and then they kept going. And
I guess then it would be I was unclear at what they were talking about because it revolved around either getting more money or getting more stuff.
Yeah.
By stuff I mean,
the problem is addiction is the big, problem with this. Well, not it's the
what the movie's about.
It's the antagonist of the movie. It's just about 4 fucking different people going through tragedy because of addiction, and they're all kind of addicted to different things.
Right, and I found that I got so really distracted by that in the movie also because I found that to just be it was just beating a dead horse as far as I was concerned. Because it was just like we'll switch to this character struggling with their addiction. Now this one. Now you get the mom watching TV and having nightmares and shit.
Was she having nightmares?
Well, like having hallucinations,
Oh,
that's what I call nightmares.
Yeah, the fridge. I love that.
Dude, that shit. That really made me laugh. By the way,
the fridge.
The movie it really got me to laugh. Yeah,
I loved it.
Well, just because she looked at it and went, and then I just couldn't get over that the fridge farted just angrily.
I think it's great. God. Like it is funny, but yeah, obviously, it didn't bother me that it was like on the nose, I guess.
I just didn't find it.
That's like she wants to eat, so the fridge is like beckoning her.
It's fine. It's fine that it's like that. It's fine that it's on the nose for that. You know, you gotta like it's conveying that idea through a lot of visual and what's happening there, which is weird that we go from that to them just talking about the girl wanting to sell shit rather than showing it. Because I didn't catch any of that. She was just there as far as I was concerned as a character.
Right.
But I just didn't find anything really interesting being said about these. Like, there's no it's just like, yep, the mom ends how she starts pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because, like, I don't know. I don't want to say that because I think everyone knows some people who have, like, gone through this. It's just kind of like
well, yes, it's a process.
Yeah, it's kind of
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that the movie didn't have me particularly engaged because it was just like, yeah, addiction's bad, isn't it? It sucks. Feel bad for this person. Doesn't it suck? That's kind of what I got from it. I
don't think there's anything wrong with shining a spotlight on something and kind of leaving it to the viewer to resonate or not. This maybe doesn't resonate with someone who's not addicted to anything, but it might be a really important movie.
You can still get audience members to like resonate with characters, like say if they're really struggling to get through it, but like they just keep falling back or anything.
I found it really engaging in the same way you watch you haven't seen it.
That I haven't watched it. You're already trying to lie.
Uncut Gems.
It's funny. I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh, have you seen Uncut Gems?
No, I was thinking that like I should watch that, or you should have me watch it.
I'm not gonna have you watch it today, but I've thought about having you watch it.
I was gonna bring that up, so that's actually funny. You brought
it's a great movie. No, and I won't spoil too much, but yeah, I'm saying you watch this in the same way you watch Uncut Gems, in that you're like, no, just don't. No. That's all I'm saying. If you've seen the movie, you get it. Like,
I mean, you can apply that like to a lot of different characters,
Yeah.
But like, it's just the act of them doing it isn't enough for me to be like, no, don't. They need to like exhibit some character trait that like shows that they don't want to be a part of this or something that's going against their nature,
I think they did. I think we know that. I think we know Tyrone is. He shows.
Oh yeah, him. That's why I said he's the salvageable character.
He shows discipline, but Harry also shows concern for his mom when he finds out she's on amphetamines.
The most mild concern. Actually, okay, no.
I don't think so.
No, not that scene. No, that's why. I mean, overall, because they have that conversation and then that's it. That's the last interaction they have together, and that's the last time. He never even brings her up afterwards. Doesn't think about her. Tyrone cares more about his mom, and we never see her. Probably because she's dead, but yeah.
I think he cares about her. He becomes fucking like that's kind of when he goes overboard because Harry, obviously, his main addiction is just shooting up. Because he's the one who his arm's all fucked up at the end. His arm gets amputated.
Which by the way, I would have checked that off on the bingo board of just anything about addictions. Gotta show the gross heroin arm.
Yeah.
Gotta show the which I'm not knocking up for. I'm just saying of course that was coming.
Oh,
and of course it was going to be gross.
It was.
I blocked the screen. I was just like, no movie, you're not getting this.
I watched it.
You didn't work for this.
Fucking. I'm trying to think. I can't remember what Tyrone's addiction was.
It's the same thing. They shot together.
Yeah, I know, but I think he. I can't remember because the mom obviously was addicted to. She became addicted to trying to lose weight, because she wanted to get on this TV show. And
she became obsessed with it.
Yeah, she wanted to, lose weight and fit into this dress for her appearance.
Her addiction transferred over to obsession.
She was fantastic, that actress.
Yeah, I hated her.
She was so good.
Yeah, she sucks. I agree with you. I just hate her.
Yeah,
that means she did her job. She
killed it.
She did her job in making me just want to just punch her right in the face.
Right.
God. Well, no, just because she was like, oh, how come you know more about drugs than a doctor would?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. Again, that scene was pretty good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that scene. It just didn't go anywhere much afterwards.
I also really liked when
I did find her lines though to be just also really just on the nose. It just explained everything that we were just watching. When she was going about this is the only thing I have, to get up out of the bed for and blah blah blah, how she needs it. I was just like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
can we move forward?
I don't know. I guess I
just put very bluntly what we were already watching, which just is a point towards everything being on the nose. And I didn't find what she was saying that this is my opinion. I didn't find what she was saying to be all that natural.
I didn't.
It was it was almost like she was reading lines that someone wrote about addiction. Does that make sense? Like an essay about it. Just this is how I'm supposed to feel, rather than I don't know. The lines felt awkward for me.
I didn't feel that at all. I didn't feel like.
Well, I mean, that's why I was like, yeah, that's a subjective thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I'll say this felt like they were just telling me this, but no, I for me it definitely felt like she was telling her son that, and it felt like a conversation that would take place, given this circumstance.
I just found a few of her lines when she started going off to be unnatural. But the progression up to there, yeah, it's fine. Let's follow the conversation.
I was gonna say I really liked when the show host people came out of the TV, and but they were they still looked like they were
her nightmare took over.
Yeah, they were still all staticky, they were from the TV, and they were just calling her fat or whatever.
Yeah,
that shit was I just like the more hallucinogenic moments. I thought were handled really well too. I like the little montage.
I like that part visually.
Yeah,
though every part with her, just the mom and the TV. Every time that was on screen, I just had to go TV suicide, television suicide. Yeah,
right.
I had to, but
I think being overt is it can be just as effective as being extremely subtle. I think the problem with a lot of more ham-fisted or on the nose things that like I would complain about, it's all about kind of the context, how it's worked in to the story, if it feels natural. And that's going to be something that we're gonna agree or disagree
find it
on.
To be worked into the story or natural, at least for like most of it. But like something being on the nose or something being subtle aren't inherently like signs of quality or lack thereof.
No.
Anything. Like if that's the same thing about something being cheesy. Just because something's cheesy doesn't mean it's bad or good. You can pull that off. Like example. Our Resident Evil 4 is cheesy as fuck, but
it's a style in something.
But it pulls it off, and it's very self-aware. It's comedy. Meanwhile, something else that's super cheesy that doesn't pull it off as well. I don't even fucking know. I don't eat that much cheese, but you already know where I'm going with it.
For me, something that's like very overt and very in your face can work just as effectively.
Well, something needs to be, made apparent enough for the audience to understand it, because if they don't, then they're going to be just not following the movie and being completely, disconnected from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a spectrum, of like getting people to follow along. And it's fine to be on any point, but like when something is already like on the nose and so like just apparent with its symbolism and what it's trying to get across, only for the characters to just, again, reaffirm everything verbally as well. I found it to be way too much. I was just like, okay. I found parts of it to be like a toddler test. It's like, okay, so in case you fell asleep for the past 30 minutes, here's a recap of what just happened.
Weird. Because I enjoyed the moment that took place between Harry and his mom. I assume that's what you're talking about again.
No, I was talking about just things as a whole.
Okay.
I enjoyed that moment. Just parts of it rubbed me a little wrong.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, what else was I going to say about this? The girlfriend, she becomes addicted to, I guess, to the drug as well.
She's been addicted to drugs, and then
they all go.
Then she derails into cheating and sex and just sex orgies. I'm so big brain. Just that kind of shit.
She starts selling herself.
Everyone.
By the end, they all do. They all end up in extremely shitty situations. We got Harry with his amputated arm. We got Tyrone in a like racist. Yeah, they go to jail.
Yeah, he's in prison and he's getting.
There's racism.
Discriminated against.
And she's sold herself into a pimp. Yeah, she sold herself to a pimp and doing some like. According to Wikipedia, humiliating sex show. And the mom,
which that's another thing, is that I didn't know to take that last part literally or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of like the absurdity of like what happened with I mean I guess it's leaning more on like does it actually happen, but yeah, it was just so like just so out there. I was just like, okay, what is this? I
just love that they all at the end, like they all just curl into the fetal position and then it's just over. But anyway, I'm going all over the place. There was a lot that I liked about this that was visual, clearly. And I started to mention that little montage because I figured that's something you either like or you hate. Every time someone shoots up.
I liked that at first. It was pretty stylish.
Yeah,
it got a bit distracting though afterwards.
It was definitely
but like I'm stylistic. Fine with it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. It is meant to like show the kind of redundancy that is in addiction, but they don't realize it's redundant because it's feeding. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
it's like hey, this is repetitive, isn't it? Then it's like, oh, everything else that we do is repetitive anyway. So like whatever. That's talking about themes and all that.
Like
the themes
as far as being like on the nose with the addiction stuff.
I will say quickly, I didn't like the split screen. when there were two characters on screen. And it just
I actually
split
did
down the middle.
because
I couldn't stop. I couldn't not picture the fucking green and blue arrow from Drake and Josh.
That's pretty funny.
So it was distracting for me.
I actually like that. I forgot about that, but yeah, it's just such a rare choice.
I found that distracting is all.
It felt like
unnecessary.
It kind of added to its style for me, and helped make it feel like more claustrophobic at the same time. What was I gonna say? I really liked, as we're talking about like what the movie does on the nose, for like drugs bad, whatever, but I liked some of that stuff that's really obvious, like when he leaves his mom's house and he's in the cab, I think, and he's just crying and then shoots up and then like immediately he's not crying anymore, and it's very obvious what that's saying.
Oh yeah,
but like
what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Coop just got thrown at my leg though.
Yeah, just the whole house shaked for a second.
Yeah, it's very obvious what's going on there, and like another example of that is when I think the mom was at like the doctor's office and time was going like really fast, and then like as soon as she stepped on the scale it gets like really slow or something. Like it was something like that. Like as soon as something sobering happens, like feeling something, crying, or seeing like how much you weigh, like that's when you want to shoot up again and just get on this high and like just avoid reality. And like it's done in like a visually interesting way, and that's what kind of makes it better than I think if someone just said like, if someone just said it out loud, like you're losing your shit, man.
Well, yeah, no one said it out loud, and
yeah,
that's not what I wanted either. If anything, like a lot of my critiques at this point have been the opposite of what that was, and I'm fine with like the things that you listed off. Mm-hmm. It's just like when we look at it when we get the whole picture, you know, it's established that like, yeah, the people who are addicted, they want to escape reality of any part that is that involves a negative outlook of them, because you know that's how people are. Mm-hmm. So that's something that, you know, a lot of just regular folk can immediately like, okay, I get this. I just didn't think it went much further after that. It just established like, yep, this is what happens. This is drugs. This is addiction. There you go.
For me,
it didn't build off of that, for like as far as I could tell.
Yeah, for me, like it didn't need to. I don't know. That's
well, then the whole movie could have just been the same thing.
Was there another? Yeah, but it wasn't. You know, did we talk about another movie like this? I can't remember, because I remember describing another movie like this that it doesn't give you an answer or anything. It kind of presents
an answer.
It kind of presents. Yeah, I know, but it presents something to you, and then it's kind of it's up to you to take from it what you will. And like, if you feel like what did you feel like you wanted out of it?
Better, let's see, a more cohesive plot, better characters.
I
didn't find the characters to be really memorable or exhibit other traits other than, you know, the byproduct of addiction. I never got to humanize most of them. I never got to humanize the girlfriend.
I think that could kind of be a point towards the movie, though.
Why?
Because everyone that I've met that's gotten into this rabbit hole of drugs doesn't have a fucking personality. This is their whole life.
Damn. So, guys, you heard it here. If you're addicted to drugs, you got no personality. From James himself.
It definitely can be like that.
It can be like that, but like movies aren't meant to simulate reality. You know, even then, but like, still, just them being addicted and having no personality. I'm not gonna be engaged with that. Just some dude being stoned on the couch for the whole runtime, because that could be what you're describing.
No, I don't.
I want like more substance out of characters.
But that's not what happened, and I don't think every movie needs strong characters. Also, If you have,
I think that other movie you recommended me, the punk kids living in that one super
SLC
small
Punk.
town, SLC Punk. I found that to be much better.
Better.
And just have better characters.
I mean, sure, but that's a character-driven movie. I don't think every movie needs to be character-driven.
I mean, every movie's got to have characters.
That's not true.
Well, okay, everyone that we've seen has characters in them.
Yes, but I mean,
you don't need to have characters in them, but if you write them, they should be, have more of a person. Just have something about them, not be fucking shit. Like, they were all flanderized by their own addiction.
I don't think you need strong characters for a strong movie. I would say that
that's really vague, because it really depends on what's coming out of what that movie is going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Because the script doesn't always call for a character who's completely fleshed out. Then you have situations where you're calling it fluff because someone's talking a bunch, but they don't need to be there. Like,
no, it's fluff if they don't add anything. Not that they don't need to be there, but I don't know. This is an incredibly slippery claim you're saying. That just that movie with characters they don't need to be particularly well written.
I don't think that these characters need.
That doesn't sit well with me at all. Especially because the movie also does it does try to work off of different characters' dynamics. There's meant to be conflict. That's how you get conflict in these.
It's a simple story. It's more about their goals and why they don't reach them and how far they fall from what they're trying to achieve. It's not as much about the characters are vessels for this story.
I didn't really pick up on goals, but that's just me.
Yeah, I know, but I explained what they're all trying to do. The mom's goal is the most obvious. You get that one kind of beaten into your head.
I don't know, that it doesn't sit so well with me, because then we look at something like Breaking Bad, which has some of the best characters on TV,
and it's also 50 hours as opposed to an hour and a half.
Well, yeah, but it's still a piece of media, Yeah. Even in one season, in fucking 2 episodes, you get more insight of these characters on screen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are plenty
because I feel you don't have a well-written character, then they can be completely contradictory to what they're doing and how their outlook is on a certain person and all that. It's not I'm not saying that's what this movie is doing, but that's what could happen.
Yeah, you could. I don't think you need to know these characters that well to watch them experience what they do experience in this movie.
I don't need to know their whole backstory or anything. I didn't say that.
It's kind of universal, I think, what you witness in this.
Universal as in
you're watching regular ass people coming from not much and trying to go somewhere with their lives, but they encounter addiction and struggle with drugs and money, and then they lose everything. And it's a very simple story. You don't need these incredibly complex characters to go through it.
See, what you described, how you described the movie, you could also apply that to SLC Punk.
Yeah, you could.
Just a simple story. And they're not incredibly complex characters,
No, but they're not, they are full of attributes, though.
Yes, that's what makes them a character.
They
you understand them as a person, and then what their outlook is, and then that defines what their motivation is later. And then when they make a decision, be it in line with the character or not, will make that significant for it. You know?
And in SLC Punk, they're that movie's plot is pretty loose. It's a lot more character focused. It's about these wacky kids doing wacky shit. And that's kind of the point of it. If you're going to have a loose plot, there's a lot more time to focus on your characters. Donnie Darko's a pretty fucking loose plot. Eraserhead. You can't spoil Eraserhead. Like, because there's like no plot to it.
Well, like when we're taking, there's a difference between loose plot and no plot.
But also, are you going to call Henry a bad character in Eraserhead? I guess you might, but like the point is, it's about what's going on in that movie.
Is Henry a bad character? See, that's not something I never even thought about. I wouldn't say so. Not because he's not saying much, but like,
think about, like, it's a very simple thing, but it's what you're like watching happen on the screen. It's kind of just it's a art film. You're supposed to, Well,
like, okay, what do we get from Henry in Eraserhead? If we want to take something as loose as that, we do get that he just wants to work. He's tired from his kid.
He's in the movie. He's scared.
He's scared.
He's scared of relationships, commitment.
He's quiet, and
sorry, guys, Eraserhead spoilers.
Yeah, he's quiet.
It's hard to spoil Eraserhead again.
He doesn't. He's not really like interacting with people, and that like gets him isolated and yada yada. Then you immediately snowball into themes, because that's what that movie is. But what do you get from these characters is they're addicted. That's their whole character,
right?
And that's not substantive.
I don't think it needs to be. Again, like, I guess it comes back to that, because
then we could just have like fucking like little tofu blocks just shooting up heroin.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the point?
This could be anyone who's going through this stuff.
That's not what the message I got from it is, that this could be anyone. It's just like, feel bad for these people. Because there's nothing else that is like, oh, anybody. It's like the movie doesn't like even depict that like this could happen to anybody. It's that these are happening to these characters.
I mean, when you listen to a story, like an old folk tale or whatever, old wives' tale.
I don't give a fuck about old wives' tales.
Exactly. It's like the rabbit and the hare. The rabbit and the hare. The rabbit is the hare. But you know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck about that rabbit. That rabbit's a vessel for anyone. But
I don't care about them because I don't find them interesting.
They go through something. That's like the point of those stories, And
well, you can also have a character go through anything on screen, but that wouldn't make it like substantive.
No, but I think this story is substantive. I think that it's a powerful experience to watch this movie. It was for me. And I really liked what was happening visually. I really liked I like the tragedy of it. I think it's a strong contender in that area.
That's why I figured you would like it, because it's tragedy, it's dark. But like,
I'm not that easy. But I hated 13 Reasons Why. But
because I mean that there is filled with completely just illogical character decisions and just messages that are like so fucking ham-fisted and all that shit. It just that just goes to it's just contradictory to what the message is trying to get. There's a whole lot of fucking issues with that.
Oh, there's a lot, yeah.
But like, I don't know, like that shit has to pile up on you before you be like, oh, this is bad.
Mm-hmm. This was a book, and I guess the dude who wrote A Clockwork Orange, Anthony Burgess, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Defended the author when they tried to blacklist this book or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool that those two had a bit of history together. Because this movie did remind me a little bit of Clockwork Orange.
It didn't remind me of like a bit of Clockwork Orange.
It had me thinking of it.
I guess I can see how it reminded you of it.
Not a lot, but it had me thinking of the second half of Clockwork Orange, or like the middle third of Clockwork Orange.
Like if these were side characters, it'd be fine. You don't have to have a whole lot for them, but like these are the main.
Cast. If we're going back to that, character is very important in Clockwork Orange. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Well, that's what's a huge strength about it.
Like, character isn't important though in 2001: A Space Odyssey. At least not the main character.
No, but like there isn't really
he's
main
just a nothing.
There.
He's a nothing character.
There isn't really a main.
There's like 40 minutes of dialogue in that movie, and it's 2.5 hours or something. Like,
that movie is a completely different beast, though.
Yeah, it's art.
That movie in particular is art. The rest of them,
Well, I mean, I think there's definitely films that are more art than others. It's a spectrum. It's not a straight line.
Damn, 45 minutes, guys. We're into the what is art topic.
Yes, we did it.
What movies are art, and we don't want to have that conversation. So let's tread back a bit.
Okay. I don't know. I loved it.
I mean, that's fine. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I found it really hard to sit through.
Well, I'm sad you didn't enjoy it, but
Me too.
But it's okay. Like
I feel this movie could have had a lot of potential, especially with like how it subverted my expectations in the beginning.
Yeah, I would have rather you enjoyed your experience. I was a little surprised you didn't, but I guess now you've explained yourself.
I mean, like I said, if I can like get some examples of like what makes these like better characters and what makes it like a bit stronger of a plot in terms of like why certain events happen, then the movie will bump up for me like right then and there. Because there could be easily things that I overlooked, didn't keep track of, or just plain wasn't aware of.
I think if you didn't have that experience, then it's okay, because I don't think that you can be convinced the characters are better or the plot was intriguing.
I can.
If you weren't intrigued by the plot, like if it didn't hit you, then
okay, plot is different from message. Let's separate that right there.
Yeah.
Well, like plot, that would mean the plot is that they're just addicted, you know? Like the message.
The plot is the downfall. The plot is the rise and the fall.
Right.
Of these
I'm
people.
saying I didn't really see that because they already were in that downfall state. I was like,
but they went
there's
up.
No change
over the course of the movie. They were up. They were doing good about halfway through, and then it changed. There was an arc.
I think it tried saying that, but there wasn't. I didn't really like see a pause. It was just like,
you did.
Oh, we're doing better. We have money now. Let's shoot up as reward. I was like, okay,
in the middle, like right when Harry and his mom have that conversation, they're kind of all at their best. Like the mom has actually lost weight. Harry and I almost said Harry and Truman. Harry and Tyrone and Marion have money. Like they can.
How do they get their money, by the way? Because like Harry just shows up all of a sudden. And he's like, "Oh, I got a job now."
They're slinging. They're selling.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I figured. I just at that part I was like, wait, did I miss something?
Yeah,
like, are they just selling? Is that what's happening, or does he actually have a job now?
The movie deteriorates after they have that talk, and at that talk, like the mom has been taking that shit, but like she hasn't started. She starts to need more right after that because she calls and she says these aren't working anymore, and then she just takes more and more and more.
And in her case, is kind of the more like textbook, like devolving into addiction. It's like Like I saw what she was doing, taking more pills, and it's like, oh, they're not working as much. Oh, she's building up a tolerance. So they don't use that word though, which is strange because that's like it's such a common like, oh yeah, you're you're building up tolerance. That's like I don't know. That to me is so universally like said and just talked about because you can build up a tolerance towards anything. Well, sugar, caffeine.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just pointing out that like there's a plot here. They end up lower than they started, but in the middle they're where they want to be. They just lose it all.
Yeah, in the middle, like I gather some of that.
Yeah, and that's when like even visually the movie goes off the rails. Like it's never quite the same after that kind of midpoint. Yeah, and then Harry convinces his girlfriend to fuck that guy, her psychiatrist.
Okay, then I completely missed that.
Really? I
must have missed that. I didn't. Yeah, I thought she came to that decision on herself. I didn't know he actually wanted her to do it. Okay, that helps out a bit. Like,
okay. Yeah, it shows how fucking.
I was just thinking like, because when she said like, oh, I fucked that guy for you, I was just like, what a fucking moronic thing to say, but okay. And then I was like, why doesn't Harry care? So I guess if that happened, that explains all of it.
Well, because they needed the money.
Well, I mean, yeah, you just taped
and
over
the drugs
a pothole for me is what
the drugs.
What I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll still like, oh, bad things are just happening because bad things need to happen.
Okay.
Which I still kind of get from some of it, but again, they could be cleaned up just like how you just cleaned that up.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm just not the person to do it. I definitely think it's a movie I need to see again. Like, just.
I don't think I'm gonna want to see this movie again.
I know,
but
that's okay.
I'll be fine to talk about it. Like, oh, if you bring this to my attention, it's like, oh, okay, that makes it a little better.
But
it's just one of those movies where it was like things can easily just go over my head, and you know, with your taste in movies now, it's very much, it's kind of it puts me in a spot where it's like, okay, what am I supposed to take literally?
I didn't
here?
know.
What's literally going to be happening?
I hadn't seen this.
Oh, that's true. You haven't even seen it.
I hadn't.
But this still is in line with, like, this is kind of like a mix of SLC Punk and being John Malkovich. It's like, so take those movies together and there you go. Minus the characters.
I was really happy with this because from you, I got the impression it wasn't going to be good, and from Austin, I got the impression it wasn't going to be good. But I just had heard this movie's name forever, really, and I saw, YMS gave it the approval, so I was like, I'm going to check that out, and I walked away pretty happy with this one. So I guess we don't have to go any more on it.
I mean, we talked a bunch on it. It was going to be a controversial part in the podcast here.
That's good. I'm glad.
Can be, yeah.
We haven't had one of those.
On the completely other end of the foot here, I found this movie to be kind of painful to sit through at times, and it was mediocre at best for me.
Mm-hmm.
Found it to be incredibly pretentious with how hard it's trying to hammer its themes onto you, and it only is concerned with pushing the "hey kids, addiction is bad, don't do drugs" type of message.
Well, also this book was written in like the 50s or 60s.
I would say I'd be interested in the book, but I'm like not interested in books.
The book is pretty much the same from what I can tell. They stayed pretty true to it.
I'm hoping. I'm more willing to
which is really cool that
think that the book would be better, just because books will tend to go into more detail about things. And more detail could mean more content, more character, like development, or traits that are being shown. There could be more things that were shown that could help it, but I don't know. I can't say. That's just like what my default inclination is toward that sort of thing.
Sure,
but then again, I'm thinking of anything's turned out to be the same as the movie too, wasn't it? I said I'm thinking of anything's the book turned out to be the same as the movie, didn't it? Like
the movie was better in my opinion, but yeah. I'm not the best person for it, but I don't know, like I haven't seen too many movies that kind of take this stance and present it in this way, and just like you watch people get destroyed by so I don't feel like it's like, oh yeah, we've heard this before or anything like that. I think it's a pretty unique movie.
I haven't said that I haven't seen it, but that I've seen it before.
Yeah, no, but okay. Like you didn't say that, but I think if you're doing something new and unique, like kind of in a new way, then I can respect that, even if it does suck. But I didn't think this did. Sure,
yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
You can do something new. If you can present something, yeah. I disagree with what you said.
Yeah.
But I like. I don't think that's applicable or relevant to this movie.
Sure.
But I agree with your sentiment anyway.
Hooray! So what are you giving it?
A 4 out of 10.
Okay.
See, it's not even as deep as you thought it was. It's not even as fucking. Well, I didn't hate it.
Well, I figured you kind of have like the system that I have, that like YMS has, where like a movie that is like really meh is like a 5. So I figured you couldn't give it too shitty of a score with some of the elements that are pretty much decidedly good.
I pointed out all the things that I found to be of the good qualities of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's just the ones where I found the quality to be lacking happen to be like the really important parts of a movie to me.
Yeah. So I didn't rate this one, but because I wanted to hear what you had to say, just like you were curious about me, because I knew that you didn't enjoy it. But I think I'm gonna go with a 9 on this.
Sheesh.
A 9 out of 10.
Well, there you go. That's that kind of madness here on this show.
Yeah, it was debatably a 10, but I just need to experience it more.
I would find a 10 to be very hard. Like,
I need to see
this a perfect movie. Oh man, yeah.
I need to see.
Tough.
I need to see if it has the staying power for me. So, yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, 10's for you more or less mean like it's your new favorite thing, I guess.
It means it for albums for sure. For movies, it's less like they've been inducted into my Hall of Favorites. But I don't remember. Did I give like The Pianist a 10 or did I give it a 9? I don't fucking remember.
You give it an 8 or some shit.
I don't know. But the point is, if I gave it a 10, then like that's more based on quality than like this is one of my new favorite things ever. Anyway, we're gonna discuss a game now that you recommended me.
Oh boy, game time!
Yay!
We're gonna talk about A Hat in Time.
We are
right after a word from our sponsor.
Yay!
So, guys, today's episode is brought to you by Liquid Death.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I wish. Yo, Liquid Death, give us money. This is what it could. This is what it could be. You.
I love that it's called that.
Give me that liquid assets. Haha.
Because like it probably tastes like that.
It's water.
Liquid Death?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's water.
You mean that's literally water?
It's literally water. It says sparkling water right underneath the little logo.
Sparkling water does taste like death.
Guy, it's water from the Australia Alpines, and they're making them in cans because every 10% of profit made from the cans goes to ending plastic production. I don't know how, but that's their thing. Their thing as a company.
We should totally start like acting like we have a sponsor in every episode.
That's what I was trying to do, and you immediately shut me down. So
just being I mean like not like legitimately, but just like shout out some company in every episode.
Some company. Yo, Liquid Death, like your water.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't. But
you haven't had it.
I don't like sparkling water, dude. It tastes like...
Didn't get the white one. Get the white can because that's not even sparkly. The black one is the one that's like carbonated. The other one is just smooth. You will be able to chug that thing. I promise you.
Like fucking seltzer.
It's not seltzer. The white one isn't. It's literally like spring water.
Anyway,
this one's the sparkly one.
We're gonna talk about A Hat in Time now. Now that my timestamps are confusing.
What did you think of that game? What did you think? I saw you finish it when I had to come in, so
yeah, you did.
See, you really just didn't want to play it, but what'd you think?
No, I did. I always misunderestimate how long games are gonna be. I think.
I always, it's really tough to like give you a quote on time because.
Oh, you know what?
Like runtime because I'm like, yeah, it's an 8-hour game. I don't know how much you spent on it. I don't know if you know how much. I guess he's gonna turn on the PS5 to find out.
That's what I'm gonna do because I don't think I did spend that much time, but I don't know. I'm not a gamer, man.
I try. I mean, it's not like this is a gamery game.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But that's what I mean. Like by it's hard for me to like do these games because I don't sit here and now I feel like we're doing a Game Shed episode.
Yeah, because you whipped out the thing and now we have a TV. We have stimulus happening.
Yeah.
What was I gonna fucking say? Yeah, now we're distracted by all the bright shiny lights.
Yeah, you got to talk while I remember how to find out my hours on a game.
It's funny that you have to look for that on PS5
profile.
Yeah, I watched you do the last boss and you did better at that than I did. So
9 hours.
You say that? Yeah, there you go. See, I quoted you accurately. I said it was about an 8-hour game.
Yeah.
If you wanted to just get through it.
And I did do
campaign story.
I did do a bunch of side stuff too.
Cool. So walk me through your journey through this game, because this has been in my backlog since 2017. This is a dusty game, but yeah, because I heard people talk about it and they highly recommended it.
I'm really happy this game exists, I'll say.
Nice.
Because I didn't think this breed of game existed anymore.
Oh no, it's still going.
There's
a lot of indie people are just doing like platformer, mostly side scrolling, but like the fact that they made it fully modeled, 3D, it doesn't look like garbage on PC.
But just
but full voice acting.
But just the way that this felt, this is like a love letter to Spyro. You were saying you were getting Sly vibes. I'm gonna tell you, this is Spyro.
That's so funny because
you should get on to Spyro after this, if you like this.
No, I just find it funny because like I've already described it as like 3 other things too, and Spyro was not one of them. And here you are like, oh yeah, this is mostly like Spyro.
What else did you describe it like?
That's funny, but it hurts. I said like from my initial
you said Sly at one point.
Initially, what I said is that this is like this is really inspired off of Sunshine.
Yes,
a little Wind Waker tisms. It's Sunshine with like Wind Waker because you get in the way you get the hook shot and the art style and expression and all that. And then as we were playing Sly, it's like, oh, you can slow time down. That's cool. Like you can in this game. You also bounce on a lot of the wires and shit. But it's a Sly element. I didn't mean like it's really something you can draw a comparison to. Even then, Sunshine isn't it's inspiration, but like the level layout can be, I don't know, it's similar, but like it's not. Just play the fucking game.
No, I was gonna say that was my other comparison because this is like Spyro and
yeah, because it's
Mario Sunshine cross, but I think it's better than Mario Sunshine.
I think
honestly,
I don't know about that. I'm gonna get to Sunshine next, and then I'm gonna like kick the door down and be like, yeah, so you're wrong.
You can say that, but you'll be wrong because Super Mario Sunshine is a clunky piece of shit.
As long as it's consistent in its clunkiness, I'll be okay.
This isn't clunky. This is well, it is a little.
Yes, it's pretty.
It's a little clunky.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna let you get away with that.
But nowhere near as clunky. Yeah. I had to think for a second because like this.
We'll get
this
into it.
This isn't criticism free, but it's a very good game. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, it's a lot like Spyro, I was gonna say, because like there's lots of points where you'll go into a world, it's just free roam, and then you gotta explore the level as much as you want, and there'll just be time pieces just chilling there.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it'll be like this set piece that's just linear. You go through it like a level. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they try to do both, and it doesn't really work out that well because you'll have like the open world,
like the free roam.
Yes,
I didn't like that one.
In the Alpine skyline. That one's one of the better ones, actually.
Really, you like that?
Well, I don't think you haven't finished it.
No, but
finished that area.
I got.
You got 2. I saw you got
two of them. Yeah, and I wasn't liking that. I liked the other areas better.
Well, there could be some other things about the area too that you don't like, but specifically with the free roam, because you haven't played any of the DLC.
No.
Well, that's what I'm here for. So
well,
I'm here.
You're at the wrong place.
Well, oh shit. This isn't
because you didn't recommend the DLC.
Wait, this isn't Wendy's?
No, it's not.
No, I didn't recommend the DLC because there's actually quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think for all of it, it's like $15 maybe, 17 somewhere in that area.
I saw one piece of DLC.
There's 2 pieces.
Is there a second one of these coming out?
I don't think so.
I
don't know.
When I typed in a Hat in Time, it kept coming up Hat in Time 2. I was like, what?
Maybe people are looking it up the same way they look up sequels for their other favorite thing. Yeah. I don't think it needs a sequel either, but like, hey, if they want to make another one, sure, just have it be as good, please. But yeah, the DLC, it's about $15, and you can easily get like another 20 hours out of it. There's a lot of content in the DLC.
I bet.
It's very much worth the money, but like in that regard, at least. But in one of those, there's you get the open world aspect, but like it still wants you to play it like a linear level, so you can't backtrack for a lot of things, If that makes sense. So like I just experienced this last night because I'm still playing the game. You can jump off something to like, all right, I got where I wanted to here, so now I'm gonna go back. That's like to the main hub area, or just explore a different part of the world. But the game will like kick you back to where you were as if you died. You know, it's like you got fallen off. So like you're locked into that level, and a lot of them they don't expect you to play it backwards. Like it's spaghetti. Some of that, which it's not spaghetti in the Alpine skyline area. It's not as much like that. It's very much like, yeah, you can go backwards, forward, where the fuck you want to go there.
Right.
That's one of the good things about it. Like,
yes.
They had that already planned out there.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just let you talk because you want to discuss the DLC first.
I was just talking about that briefly. Let's go back to the main experience, what you got from it.
Yes. I thought that it was a tried and true classic platforming adventure. And I don't know, the last time someone told me I was going to get one of those, I got handed Knack.
Sheesh.
So...
that's tough. That's a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's been a long time because I remember going to the store when like the PS4 first came out, and then I was like, it was back when I only replayed like Spyro and Crash and Sly and stuff, and I was like, I'm looking for a game like those that I just named. Like that's what I grew up on. I want something similar, and they were like, oh, there's a new platformer on the PS4.
See, it's funny. I didn't even.
They handed me Knack.
I didn't even realize that you were really like thirsty for a game like Spyro and Sly. We were just playing. I was like, he'll probably like it since this is in his palette of taste of games.
I just didn't think they existed anymore because like I don't even think the Mario platformers are. They don't feel as much like those ones I named. This one really gave me the vibes. This one was what I wanted to get handed that day.
This game is very, it's very, what's it?
Mario's got its own flavor.
It's very accessible.
Yeah.
Like Gris. So
it's extremely, yeah, I would say.
One of the, which I'm glad that like games are actually taking consideration, like in case like someone's never picked up a video game before, It is very accessible, which I thought about as a gripe, but also a positive, which is funny. How the fuck is it a gripe?
I thought of it as a gripe as, like, I felt like there was no kind of consequence or setback ever. But
I was going to say challenge.
But then I like, that doesn't bother me all the time. If there's, like... If something's not super challenging, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, sure. I was just anticipating
because that's what I again, all those games I named, not hard games. They're just fun to chill and play. Like it's just a good time. It's a nice world to get sucked into. Suck your time away with it.
See, it's funny. You talking about this game is how people talk about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's funny because like this one's a lot more involved. So I guess, yeah, this is like the level of involvement I need to feel the way people do when they're playing Animal Crossing. But yeah, like when you fall off the edge, you're like usually just immediately planted back where you were. And then like when you lose your whole life, it's no different than if you just lose like a little sliver of your life.
Yeah, I noticed that is a point of contention, I think, for the game, or a few parts where it's just like, what's the point of the HP and dying if it's just gonna plop me back at the checkpoint anyway?
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining about it plopping me back at the checkpoint, but it kind of makes the whole health system a bit.
Yeah.
Not the whole. It kind of makes the health system in that area a lot more trivial.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of on the right. Games are kind of going on in the right direction with that because I've seen like the life system it is kind of outdated because it came around way back in the day so people could get more quarters out of you in the arcade so you have a limited number of lives and like it's kind of been outdated since you could take consoles home and play your games.
I don't completely agree with that.
It can be.
For some games, like lives just mean like the zero amount of attempts that you can have at this level, you know?
Before you just
before you're kicked all the way back, you know? It's like these are your resources and all that.
Yeah, which in one way
and
makes it less accessible, because then it's just like if you're not good enough, you're not gonna play it.
I guess it can be outdated in the sense that like a lot of games just aren't going in that direction of like just sheer like trial and tribulation and all of that. It's very much just like a linear set path. You get to this part, you can progress the game. Most of the games don't even. Yeah, a lot of games now don't even like punish you or give you a game over right now.
The new Crash doesn't. You have the option not to do lives, and we did them like an idiot. That game, you could tell it wasn't built for lives because the levels were a lot longer than they used to be and a lot harder.
I'm not particularly like advocating for using lives, but like them kind of getting washed out in the way that they are is a little like it's a little eyebrow raising, just because the amount of game journalists out there who can't play fucking games and complain that it's too hard.
Yeah,
like that's I don't want lives going out there because of that reason, because people are just like they're too smooth brained to actually like deal with the challenge.
And you might,
but like again, that's a different topic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're talking about accessibility, then like the ideal thing would be that there's like a setting for everyone, and that's just impossible, obviously.
No, I disagree. I mean, what I mean with accessible, I mean like it's very simple with its controls, mechanics, and what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's perfect.
The level is just, it's so clear cut. It doesn't mince words at all. It's like, here's what you're doing. Explore if you want, but here's obviously the path where you need to go. Mm-hmm. Hell, there's a hat where it shows you what thing you're working towards and where it is.
Yeah, which hat did you use the most?
Sprint hat, easily.
Me too.
That's the meta.
Yeah. Okay.
The hats are an interesting thing to talk about, like with the power ups.
I didn't get them all, but
you missed one, but that's like kind of post game. The time stopping hat.
Yeah, I saw that one, but like it was like 32 yarn or whatever, and I was like, nope.
Which is funny because I
be done with the game before then.
I finished the game and like it was like, oh, you can unlock the time hat, but you need 32 yarn. I had like 40. I was like, all right, here.
Yeah, I don't know how many.
The benefit of getting the yarn. Oh, speaking of which, I fucking love like just getting an item in the game and the hat kid turns around and then once you click, that she just
the snap.
The snap was so hot.
Beep. Don't say that. She's 6. I don't know.
I said the snap was.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah. God, relax.
I'm making a joke. Calm down.
Yeah, but that joke can land me in a internet prison.
So could one of yours, but that's okay.
Yeah, but mine are funny.
Let me think. What did that thing right at the end I thought was funny. When you get kicked off the top of the mountain of hourglasses, and then she's just smiling at the camera.
Yeah, the hat kid just never cares, just always smiling.
Yeah.
Like Snatcher's like, I'm gonna take your soul, and hat kid's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So nonchalant with everything.
I liked that. I liked the contract signing.
Oh yeah, Snatcher's definitely my favorite character now.
Yeah.
He had to grow on me. He wasn't at first. I was like, oh, what are you doing, you little edgy asshole? But then he's just, I don't know. I love his voice acting. His voice work so great. It reminds me a lot of Mark Hamill.
I like the last contract you sign where you cross out everything on his contract.
Oh yeah,
and you write dumb shit.
Yeah,
and then
you just write over it. And he's like, I'm not sure that's how contracts work.
And then he just gives you the thing anyway.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, fine, just get the fuck out of my forest, thanks.
Let me think.
Yeah, so we talked for a second about hats, and then tangented to immediately something else.
Yeah.
And you just said you didn't get any of them. I feel like, I mean, the hats and the power ups, awesome concept. Just I feel like in terms of balance, they're not really.
Nope.
They're not created
equally.
Balanced. They're not. You're not going to use the witch hat as often as you're going to use the sprint hat.
I almost never wanted to use the witch hat.
It almost feels like they should have been different power-ups, because a few of them, they're traversal and other ones are combat.
Uh-huh.
Well, it does. It all is in just one neat little menu. So like,
yeah,
it's fine. It's just like it's different types.
One mechanical issue, on the PlayStation at least, when switching between hats is that switching between hats is fucking broken on the PlayStation.
How so?
Because you like hit L1 and then use the stick like to choose your hat.
Yeah, across the wheel.
But it's completely like it should work like, okay, I want the hat at the top right, so you move the stick top right. But it'll show that you're like at the bottom left or something. Like it'll be completely opposite, and that's like, oh, maybe it's just inverted. No, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it goes where you want it to go. And like so yeah, it's complete. It's a fucking mess for some reason. And sometimes when you're changing, like it's a high stress situation, you want to change your hat quickly, then it really fucking sucks. And like there are some times where I do it like 3 times in a row and it would just like not select the hat. So that sucked.
That sucks. That sounds like a completely you problem.
That sounds like a port thing. Unless you mean...
I don't know. I don't know what... I think it released all on the same thing, all at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this has been made for consoles first, actually, and then got ported to PC. Because, like, that's the other thing.
I don't know how it's a me problem if it goes to the wrong side of the screen.
Well, it's a you problem because you played it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me to switch hats, it's right mouse button, and then I could just point the mouse wherever I want.
Yeah, I figured.
So I can just go
click on it.
I can go click and just flick the wrist.
Yeah.
There is there is a hot swap button, but as far as I know, it's random which hat you get. So you just press it and it instantly switches, but it's just like you gotta cycle through it. So like I don't know why,
unless it goes like left or right.
I don't know why they couldn't have just made that like assignable. That would have been hot, but it doesn't go left to right. It's random.
Yeah, there are like a couple mechanics like that I wish were here. Like that is one I thought of, and I also think like, and you could argue this one if you want, because there's a very easy argument against it. But I wish that they were a bit more derivative in the riding wires.
By the way, okay, are you doing that on purpose? You're like shaking your head, you're shaking your feet, and it's
shaking the couch.
Yeah, and it's making your voice like.
My voice is like.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not sure how fun that is going to be back to listen to.
Oh, it's fun. It sounds really cool.
Okay.
No, I'll stop. So, yeah, I wish that there was like a jump and hit the circle button kind of thing, because.
You do.
You don't.
You do. Okay, what do you mean by jump and hit the circle button then?
For landing on like wires or tight ropes. You just have to land on it, and there's not like a button that you can press to attach to it.
Did you fall off the wires and trip ropes a bunch?
No, I missed them a lot.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem. If anything, I found like a lot of the because the game snaps you to the wires a lot of the time. And a lot of the time when I was playing...
That's what the circle button could do, but it doesn't.
Yeah, but it did automatically. Like, for me, it was so generous with it snapping to it. I could be underneath the wire and then just do like a little short hop, and it'll just go and teleport me like up to the top wire.
Okay, well, I don't know what that's about, because Mo was here watching me, and I was having a lot of trouble with it.
I always feel like I'm going to, but I never do, or never did.
Yeah, it's
I wonder what part it is, or that you were having trouble with.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna give me like a fucking tightrope, like something as thin as a rope in this very open area, then you need a latch button. That's why Sly had that. Like, or auto latch you, but like
it did auto latch.
It auto latches. It's very inconsistent, at least on the PlayStation.
Interesting. It had none of that issue whatsoever. So that's weird. I had a completely different experience, but it snapped me so generously most of the time. It
was not generous for me. I would call for a jump and hit the circle button, but it wasn't a huge glaring issue. It just annoyed me like once or twice.
I realized that if they I will say I realized that if they didn't have that auto latch thing for me, that the tripwire is going to be very much a troubling part of the game.
Yeah.
But like again, that could be just rewarded off of skill, but who knows?
Yeah. No, I agree. That is still the argument that you could make is like, get good. Just jump on it. You're just bad. But
it all depends on like how it's implemented after that, because that's just that's a what if, you know.
I think because
that's like, oh, what if they didn't have the auto latch working or working as well as it does, but like it was, so it's fine. But it's not for you, so that's interesting.
I think if it is consistently hard for me to land perfectly squarely on the rope, then it really breaks my momentum, because this is a game where you get your momentum going a lot. Speaking of momentum,
you can. I didn't find it as necessary as, say, that's not a good comparison. I just didn't find like momentum to be all that important in this.
Really,
it can be, you know.
I felt like I was moving and grooving through levels.
Yeah, it's really fun to like move and groove through levels. I just didn't find it to be like an instrumental part of like traversing the level.
Sure.
There's a few of them. A few of them where they're timed, but like in the vanilla game, the time levels are so fucking generous.
They give you a very good way to move and groove. Like the levels design is generally really good, is what I'm saying, because
level design is very good here.
I didn't feel like I was going, like I felt like there was a million places I could be, and I was just going somewhere, and then I would be at the end of the level, like it had funneled me to the right place subconsciously.
Weird.
which is a great feature when that happens.
Weird. I didn't think the levels were funneling, just kind of linear. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean, like linear, but it doesn't feel linear, and that's always a great.
Yeah, because
that's always a great feeling.
There's a lot of like things to explore in each level, like little trinkets and
because you're progressing, but you might feel like, where am I? And that's great, because you're really like truly getting involved in this world, and still progressing. So everything about it feels good. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the levels are hubs, you know.
So you brought up time levels, and I brought up momentum. But fuck that one level where you got to race the guy. I didn't do it.
Explain better.
It was in the first area.
In Mafia Town.
Yeah, you have to cheat the race.
Oh, it's that dude. Wait.
I didn't do that one. I tried it like 2 times. I was like, what the fuck? No, I tried it like 5 times, and then I looked it up, and the way that the guy did it was ridiculous. And I think what people were saying is that you're supposed to get like the stop time thing.
That does make it really easy. The time hat really like cheeses a lot of the game.
Someone went back, or someone did it without that, and they made it by a split fucking second after doing all this very precise platforming, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not doing that.
You know what? Yeah, I think I just got the time hat.
Yeah. That seems
I feel
to
like
be
I just did that and then just breeze right through it.
Yeah, I was just like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? Because I could not find a way to get even close to it. So, yeah. I did all of Acts 1, 2, and 3. And, except that one. And, I did,
except 4.
I got the first
Skyline.
Yeah, I got the first 2 the hourglasses, timepieces.
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah, I got the first 2 of those at Act 4, and then that was my experience with the game.
Well,
I don't know if there was
first 2.
Is there a 5th chapter?
Define first 2. There's 7.
Okay.
Well, that's included DLC.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't have that. So how much is in the main game? 4 or 5? 4. Okay, so I experienced every area.
Skyline is the last one, I believe.
Experienced every area in the main game then. So I'm happy with that. What do you mean? What do you mean explain what I mean by the first 2?
Because you can get them in any order.
Well,
because there's 4 you can get, and you can go to any of the little islands. I think I saw you got the birdhouse.
I think you're talking about the acts. I'm talking about like chapters, and then there were acts within the chapters.
Yeah.
I did the first. I went to all 4 of the chapters. I did all the acts in the first 3 chapters, and then I just did a bit of chapter 4. Yeah.
Have you did any? Did you do any time rifts?
Yes.
Did you find any of those? Neat.
Like 4.
Did you do any of the purple ones?
Yes.
What are the ones where you get the little pictures in them? Little pictures at the end?
I did one of those, I guess.
Okay.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on
I really appreciate those. Those are neat. The little challenge levels. That's also why it's really comparable to Sunshine, because you get these like little platforming sections that just like that are meant to not try to logisticize the world, because like that's what is like prevalent in Sunshine in this game too. So you get the hub worlds that try to like, legitimize a lot of the platforming, like, it's based on the world, like you're jumping on trees, buildings or such. But in the platforming games, just like, fuck it, floating cookies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then you get a whole bunch of other things to explore with these. It's just so much shit, like there's so much content you can have in this, like you can do in here.
Right.
In this game.
Yeah, I really did appreciate the way the world comes together. Like, it's always good when the geography of a level makes fucking sense, which is how I figured out that there was a part in the Murder on the Orient Express, whatever it was called.
Owl Express.
Yeah, I was like, whatever it was called in the game though. Yeah, there was a part where I was like, I saw the door I had to get up to, but I didn't know how the fuck I was like, what? I don't see how I can get there from this room. And then I just like was like, but if this is anything like a real spatial area, then I can go into this room and there should be a door up there. And then there was, and that's what I did. And
I see.
Appreciate that.
Like it made sense, like spatially.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that like it'd be a pretty big problem if they fucked that up.
Yeah, but a lot of games don't worry about that because they just, the levels aren't built to actually fit the laws of space.
I want to know what game I guess, but I want to know specifically like what other games do that.
Yeah, I can't give you one of those.
Yeah, because it's such a specific thing. But like, yeah, if games fuck that up, I'd be like, yeah, this is what the fuck is this? Like if you go through a door and then like you turn around, it's just a wall or some shit. Unless it's a horror game, that'd be cool if it fucked with you like that. But anyways, what was your favorite chapter? Characters.
Yeah, Silent Hill funnels you by having none of the doors open. Sorry, what? The favorite character?
Favorite characters, favorite chapter, yeah.
My favorite character, well, probably JonTron. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably.
He had like a line.
Yeah, him being behind the counter. Yeah. Pretty cool.
No, that was cool that he did a voice cameo right before his controversy, I have to imagine. Because this came out in 2017. But my actual favorite character, I didn't think about it too much. Maybe it is the same dude you were talking about.
Snatcher.
I also like the guy who in the film area, not the guy who was making the movie about trains, but the other guy, the Penguin.
DJ Grooves, yeah.
I liked him.
I love him. I wish there was more of him. The game has such a strong bias for the conductor that it hurts me. I'm like, where the fuck is... Yeah, where's DJ at? Where's he?
So does it really?
Yeah. Because you get way more stuff with the conductor just being there and talked about rather than DJ Grooves.
The conductor won in my playthrough. I imagine he cannot win?
No, he's geared to win pretty much.
Okay.
You have to really like sandbag on his levels and do really well in DJ Grooves to get him to win.
And then do you fight DJ Grooves? Do you have a battle with DJ Grooves?
I don't know.
Because that would be cool. That'd be really cool.
So like
I was really curious about
sadly,
that.
just because like I think it is. I think it's rigged, honestly, and that kind of just because like when you go through and replay the levels and like you do everything as best you can, you're gonna get way more points out of a conductor. Like no matter just because his levels are longer, there's more shit going on.
I'd be curious to do really badly on his.
His levels
really,
are also designed better. The fuck?
Yeah.
The fuck, eggs for breakfast? Gears for breakfast?
Eggs
For breakfast.
But I really got that train one. It was that whole area was really cool.
Oh yeah, that whole chapter is awesome. Like I just loved like the second
Both
act.
of
It
them.
just dropped me into like, we're making movies and it's stylized and shit. Just like neat.
I didn't love how long it took me, which has nothing to do with the game, but like I was getting ready to leave the house, and that was a really long segment. I wasn't prepared for that. This game will throw you like a really short, easy level, and then a really long level, and you never know. It's like the Sly game we've been playing, so you never know like how much time you have for it.
They're all kind of like similar lengths. They're not like as short or long as in what we've been playing on Sly. Like those get really long.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe. I have just been playing pretty leisurely. Like I haven't had to be like, oh, let me squeeze out this level first, and then I can go do this or something.
Yeah, I was gonna go do Postmates. I was like, fuck, I'm late.
Yeah, I've never, I never really had that, so I never got to. It's just something, not something I considered.
That is not at all a fault of the game at all. Like, there's no way you could spin that way, because it's like some levels are long and some aren't. So that's just kind of a thing. But yeah, there is the one level where you literally just walk in and they give you an hourglass, and I love that.
I don't remember, but I believe you.
It's at the end of. I just remembered something else too, but fuck. It's at the end of that chapter we're talking about with the movies. Because when that guy wins, you just pop in and he gives it to you. And then you have to go through and do him as a boss. But like before that, he just gives it to you.
That's right. I think I played that. I was just like, okay.
I love
like,
that.
Did they just run out of time to make a level or something? Weird.
I loved that. It felt like in Battle for Bikini Bottom, there's a level like that. In the dream world, you go to Patrick's dream and he's just sitting there. He's just like standing there with like, it's like a completely dark room, and then like there's a light above him and he's just standing under it. And you talk to him and he's like, here's a golden back scratcher or some shit, and that's like the whole level.
All right.
And it just reminded me of that. Thought it was great.
See, I already forgot you're referencing Battle for Bikini Bottom. I thought you were talking about an episode, so I have a different image in my head already.
Yeah, because in Patrick's dream in the show, he was like on a fucking like seahorse. Like what the fuck are those things called?
Seahorses.
Yeah, but where you like put in a coin and then you like get to ride the
little shitty rides.
Yeah, for kids. Yeah, that's what happened in the episode. But anyway. Back on the game, did you get the golden vault? Yeah, I guess you must have. You had to do everything.
What do you mean, the golden vault? Like, did I do that chapter or that act? I thought you did it.
Oh, I forgot that it was. I forgot that it was required.
It's not required, but
right.
Like it, you did it because it's an act. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means you did it.
But is it? I swore there. Huh?
That means you did it though.
No, I did do it.
Yeah.
I did do it. But. I thought I remembered seeing a vault at like it was an extra thing. But I guess maybe I'm just...
There are a few little extra vaults in Mafia Town, I think.
What are in those?
There's like red and blue ones. They're just filled with pawns, I think.
Oh, that sucks.
I think, yeah, a few of them are filled with pawns. It's like, I think maybe a couple of them could be rift coins. I don't know. It's just part of the other shit in the game, I don't know.
What happens if
Here's the thing. I played this, I think, you have 9 hours. I played this like 3 times as much as you, and so like my brain is too big. No, it's just hard to remember all that shit because it's like a lot of the same thing, which isn't like a problem of it. It's just like I've done this so much, It's hard to keep track of all these things you're talking about.
Right. What happens if you put coins into the machine?
The rift coins,
because I finally I had 4 at the end, but I forgot to put one in because I never got to do it.
So when you do a time rift, you get the little slot machine that gives you like new colors, hats, and remixes.
Yeah,
you do that when you get you put the rift coins in.
Okay,
you get that, but it takes 3. It takes 3 rift coins to do it.
I only had 4 by the end, but I never made too much. Like
there's a lot of them in the game. I've used them quite a bit to unlock like a whole bunch of different shit, and I have 30 still.
Yeah, I never really made heads or tails because we're talking about coins.
I just found that how to be funnier than the joke.
I never, made anything up of what the fuck those slot machine things were for. Like, I guess it's just stuff you can unlock.
Well, I mean, I saw you had a different color on. You were green.
Yeah,
you're all green.
I unlocked it, and then I
some
just
different hats too.
I hit equip, so I was like, okay. I didn't really pay attention to much of that extra stuff.
There's a lot of.
I only bought a couple things too in the whole run, like badges. And I never even bought the thing that lets me equip 2 badges. Yeah.
What?
So
you're not a gamer. You are not a gamer.
No.
How did you finish the game?
Just fine. But
get more badges. Like, play the game more.
Oh, you know what? You know what? One like sort of,
because you need the hook shot, for a lot of the levels.
Yeah, I would say a small flaw is there's one level where after you've unlocked the hook shot, it's back on the train. You need to use the hook shot, and then like I just went there and ran around for like 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck do I do?
Oh yeah,
and it's because you need to be wearing your badge, and it's the first time that like it never introduces or tells you like that you need to pause the game and change your badge and this and that. And like you might think that I'm just dumb, but like I looked up what you do there because I'd been walking around like an idiot for 10 minutes, and the person who like I watched doing a let's play did the same shit. Just running around like, what the fuck do I do? And then finally like paused it and grabbed the hook shot.
That's funny, guys.
So I was like, it's not just me.
That's some shit that would happen on our gaming channel.
Yeah.
But like that just shows like I play games so much more smart, like not on the channel, because I wasn't stuck.
Yeah. Well,
but like I didn't have it. So like I got to there. It was Train Rush, is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
It was before I even went there. The game said, hey, you don't have all the things to complete this level.
I knew that, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so I'll wait to unlock shit. And then as soon as I got like the hookshot badge, I was like, this is probably it. I'm gonna go check. Oh, that is it. Sick. And then I had it equipped, and then I pulled the thing down, and then the level started for me.
I had the same thing, but I didn't have it equipped when I went there, and I was just like, what am I supposed to do here? Because I hadn't had to use the hook shot yet.
Yeah, it was like your first time you had to use it.
Yeah, so I just went there, I had the hook shot, and then like I was just running around the room. No one was like talking about like, giving you a little subtle hint of like, this is what you do. And I was like, okay, there's like the thing hanging and there's a red X on it, like that's got to be something, right? But I didn't know that I had to pause the game and go equip the thing manually, and that's the first time that you need to do something like that. So I don't know.
At that point I've already like been messed around with badges, so that was the first time you had to do it. Yeah, you didn't pay attention to it, but
and I guess Mr. YouTube guy that I watched, but maybe it's not a problem for most people.
It wasn't a problem for me, so like I'm more inclined to think like I think the game did say like, hey, you need the hook shot, or like it made that apparent enough. But
Sure.
but yeah, it could be a little more. It could be a little more like, hey, if you're
Mm-hmm.
the opposite of that.
If you're dumb.
Yeah, in case you're dumb.
If you're not a gamer.
If you're a game journalist instead. If you write reviews on games instead.
Mm-hmm. Like me.
You don't write reviews on games.
Nope, I don't.
But you're a game. But you need the game journalist setting.
Not a gamer.
Oh man, yeah. There's quite a lot in this game to talk about. Shit.
Yes, you can steer for a minute.
I was just gonna say there's like. Because you weren't paying attention, like the colors, which there's a lot of, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Love that part of the game, especially like the different hats you can unlock.
You're big on cosmetics in games.
Oh yeah, well I mean I just love customization. If there's anything about me, I love like making something and putting my touch on it.
Yeah,
it's like a big thing for games for me also, because like the amount of freedom that is kind of inherent with games. So I want to make it a little more I want to rock something.
That's where my goopy goblin gamer brain comes into play.
That's where my goopy goblin.
Because I'm just like, I'm just like, who needs clothes? Just let me run around and hit stuff.
Yeah, see, I'm like, who wants to run around and hit stuff? I want clothes.
Just let me run and jump and hit things. I don't care. And then it's like, you unlocked a hat. And I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, in this game, it's cool because it does something. But like, when it's like, you can be a different color, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're boring.
Yeah, I don't that may be true.
There needs to be that type of person to just rock the default Minecraft skin because he don't care.
Probably, yeah. Is that Steve?
Yep. Or Alex, you know.
I'd do it.
What a vanilla boy. I don't know. Like, we were kind of just been rambling on about shit. Did you like the horror act?
Yeah.
What's her name? I forgot her name. The scary bitch. She's on the logo, but she's only there for like one level, and that's
Wait, who are you talking? Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That. I thought you meant just like the whole chapter with the.
Oh yeah, Subcon Forest. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you mean particularly.
I mean particularly
the
horror. Yeah, the mansion level.
That was spooky.
It was such a.
It turned
whiplash.
into survival horror.
It was a whiplash for me because I was just walking around. Oh yeah, I got stuck in that level, by the way. Because I cheesed it. I ran like past her.
I did too.
I ran past her into the room she came from, and it locked me in there. And that's not where I was supposed to be. So I was just stuck in that locked room with nothing. I had to restart the game. That was fun.
Well, is that's a little clunk for you, I guess.
I guess,
that
but I
shouldn't be able to happen. I feel like.
I guess, but I wasn't supposed to be there, so it makes sense that I broke the game.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you're not supposed to be somewhere, that is on them to program it, so you can't.
Well, like
it
is also on me. Like, oh, I wasn't supposed to be here, so like,
I don't know, but
if I did something, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here, and you know, I'm not gonna like knock the game from like, oh, you weren't prepared for that. How dare you? Because I just restarted and there I was, play the level like normal.
I'm trying to think because I didn't get stuck there, but
Maybe if they had the door closed behind her really quick or something.
Actually, she got stuck at one point because it kept making the noise like she was after me, and I was like, what's going on? So I just like stepped out, and she was just like sitting there stuck on a wall or something. And then like she killed me when I stepped out.
Okay, that's some clunk. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm more like, that's clunk.
But yeah, I was a little confused with the shower also.
Oh my god, the fucking shower.
Like, she chased me out of there, and then I didn't really realize what I had to do, but I just ended up, like, bringing her back into the other room and then running back into the shower room.
Yeah, I knew I had to go back in there, but, like, there was just no way for me to not die or get caught there.
I think
but I did, and I ran out, I think.
At least the way that segment turned out in my playthrough, like, I feel like I would have appreciated some more like precise kind of thing that you needed to do, because I felt like what I did worked, but it didn't feel like that satisfying. But I really did appreciate that they did some like survival horror kind of
survival horror
shit.
Why you call it that?
Yeah.
Oh man,
just like because the sound they play and like the way that it zooms and your screen gets red and.
Definitely not survival horror.
Hide under the bed.
But
and,
just the filter is what gave me whiplash. Like as soon as I got caught and I was just playing that, I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, it was basically Outlast. It's survival horror. You have to hide under a bed.
Okay, are you memeing now or are you being serious? I can't tell with you anymore.
It's a meme, but it's serious.
Are you delbing me?
Because it had survival horror mechanics.
Yeah, but
that is a true thing.
Yeah, but you said Outlast and survival horror in the same sentence, so now.
Because Outlast is where you hide under shit and in shit.
Yeah, but I won't say that's survival horror.
Outlast?
Yeah,
it's a survival horror game.
It's a horror game, barely. I mean, you don't really have to manage your resource. Whatever.
It could be a bad survival horror game.
You brought up Outlast in a hat in time. I never thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's because we're at the survival level. That bitch was scary though.
Yeah, she was only there for like just that one level though, which was strange.
A little weird. She didn't show up at the end either. Neither did Jontron. So
no. Yeah, she's literally just there for that one level. So it's like, huh. feeling some underutilization given she's part of the logo, but whatever.
That's just the thing.
It's a appreciated part in the game.
The game does so much that there is bound to be some underutilization. And yeah, you mentioned quickly like the hats. Yeah, that brewing hat is almost...
We go right back to the hats. Oh my god.
Well, because we're talking about something that they underutilize now. And you already mentioned the brewing hat, but I think it is the best example because, like, you don't even need that hat. I think you need it once,
honestly,
or twice.
I will say
it's like the tiptoe.
I'm gonna say that the ice hat is more underutilized than the brewing one.
I use that one more though
because you can still use the brewing hat for combat, and a little bit. I don't know. There's some other levels too where you need it a bit more.
The ice hat seems like it could do so much. You're right. Like, what does the ice hat do? If you've not played this game, what do you think the ice hat does? Well, there's platforms with snowflakes on them, and if you turn into a block of ice on them, then it'll slingshot you to another block, another platform with a snowflake on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
little weird.
It's kind of like a shortcut traversal type of thing. It's just like if you have this unlocked, then if you have the hat unlocked, then you can access these shortcuts in this level, and a few of them the shortcuts will just unlock for that, you know.
I'm gonna let you talk for a second. I know you just did, but I gotta get my food.
You'll let me keep going. So it is a little strict. I guess that's what like some of the disconnect was, because I was thinking something like that with the hats, and that could be why, because you need you gotta do parts of the level to unlock the shortcut, and you need to unlock the hat so you can use the shortcut, you know. It's kind of like you need to do the thing and still have the ticket, I guess. It's just a little strange, but nothing that's like immediately like they don't contradict or counteract each other, so like I don't think it's a hole in the design or anything. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it for the hats, really. Unless you had anything anything more with the ice hat in particular.
No.
The most I've had to use that was now we can segue to the DLC a little bit. Fuck me, that's loud.
To the what?
The DLC.
Oh, yeah. This is all you.
Because I had to
I'm gonna eat.
This is where I had to use the ice hat the most.
Where I had to use my hat.
So part of the DLC, there's three main things of it. I mean, one of them you bundle two things together. One of them is Death Wish.
I never played DLC. You just made me realize, even like games that I really love, like
no, you did. You were talking about Night in the Woods.
Yes, true.
You played all that.
But I guess that's the only example. Well, my top 3 games don't have DLC, but like I was thinking like even games that I really like that came out, like I couldn't be bothered to play the DLC in Resident Evil 2 or 7. Like I don't know, man. I finished the main game.
Yeah, you don't care about extra shit.
Yeah, no. Whatever. Keep going.
All burgers, no fries. Just had
to say that because I noticed like, yeah, I'm all about the main game.
Well, I can recommend the DLC. I
appreciate
if you
DLC.
really, really like the game. If you've already done everything and you want more new things, go for it. But I think the DLC, it's higher highs and lower lows.
Okay.
For me,
I appreciate DLC as a concept and
I really like the concept of Death Wish. Just holy fuck the execution. If you didn't know, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's a hard mode type of thing, like a set of challenges. Snatcher has got a whole bunch of new contracts, and they
that sounds cool.
He really wants to hammer home the Dark Souls type of thing because he talks about dying a lot, and that's a little like, it was a little bad taste in my mouth, but it's fine, I guess. You do got to redo them. But just even restarting the levels, like you died, haha. It's like, no, I just restarted. Fuck you. But so one of them, for a little taste of what's going on in Death Wish, remember the act She Came from Outer Space? When you're when it's Mafia Town, it's all rainy, you're in mud, and you gotta chase around that nerdy guy. It's like the Alien type of level.
Maybe.
You're in mud. It's raining. It's Mafia Town. It's like I explained all of it. God damn it, James.
I played it.
There's all yeah.
Just keep talking.
Okay, well, there's a whole platforming section like above, like way up in the air in Mafia Town to get the timepiece. And your character looks like a mud monster. It zooms in. It makes the what's it? That fucking the brang sound, the Inception sound. Okay, whatever. Anyways,
I need to see Inception.
The challenge of that for Death Wish is to play that whole do that whole segment in less than 7 jumps.
Oh, I see. So it sends you back into other levels to do new challenges.
Yes, to do challenges, but like, yeah, do this act even harder. So like, you got that one, and then Train Rush, which we already pointed out, like the one where you need the hook shot for. It's all that where this train's gonna self explode, self destruct.
Much less time, I bet.
10 seconds.
With you can pick up the
you can pick up the timing things, but you have 10 seconds, and there's even more platforming things, even more shit that throws.
That sounds doable, but I don't know. It must have been pretty hard.
I don't want to talk about it.
Just because I can't remember if I like lost a full 10 seconds. I definitely did if it's really that hard. But like thinking about it, I couldn't remember losing that much.
Some of these Death Wish ones, I feel like the balance is way out of line sometimes. Like they did have to nerf quite a few of the ones in Death Wish just from how not doable some of them are. Like some of them are just ridiculous. But yeah, the one where you jump and only do 7 jumps for She Came from Outer Space isn't that bad. You actually have to use the ice hat to like fake a little jump, because if you tap it, you hop a little bit and you can dive and it still doesn't count as a jump. So like that would have been, I don't know, that was a cool way of using that hat, and that was like the most I've had to use it. So there we go.
Wait,
clean the ice hat.
Is that intentional though?
Yes. The game gives you a hint about that.
Okay.
About like, oh, you can use the ice hat to get a little extra height and not count as a jump. Ain't that neat? I think that's word for word what the game says, but yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in Death Wish. For the thing that it's attached to, you get this cruise kind of level where you're on a cruise ship.
Shitty. No, I'm just kidding.
It is kind of shitty. I'm not big.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, just because like the ship, it's very like.
When you rate this game, don't rate the DLC with it. Like, don't tack it on as if it's the full picture.
You know, I think I will now. Because it is. It's like...
No, you should rate that separately. It's unfair.
It's the definitive version of the game, because it's all of the content.
I disagree.
What?
It's extra content.
Yeah, but it's all of it.
Yeah, but
it's all the content under this one
It was
thing.
fully released before it. The game
right,
is...
and the DLC is fully released.
The game is the main game. The DLC, I would rate that separately.
Maybe that's why you don't like the DLC as much, because you find it to be tacked on, and the rest of us are like, oh yeah, it's the full experience of the game.
I think it's like fanfic.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, no. If they make DLC, it's canon.
Nah.
It's weird. So then
explain the DLC of Resident Evil 7, because it changes the story.
Then that means you wouldn't play the community levels in this game, because there are a lot of community levels. Are those fanfic? I mean, some community levels are really fucking good. That like, I was surprised. A few of them were like, "Damn, I swear this will be like in the main game," but some fans just made this, so I don't know. Well, it's really a work there. Yeah, so
I mean, fucking Sly 4 is fanfic. So
as far as you're concerned, but still,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your franchise had to get shit on like that. You know, everyone has their first.
It's whatever.
Dude, a lot of
the game's all right to play, but the story sucks.
You know what? Maybe we should.
I didn't care about the story in this. I know you probably want to talk about that in the characters.
A little bit, but it's not really a big draw.
I did. I'll say the best part of it was when you came at the end and when you see all the guys who were bad coming to your side at the end. Like that's probably the best.
Against Mustache Girl,
that's probably the best shit that it did. Yeah, it's probably the best shit it did for me.
I found a lot of the lines to be really funny too. Just its presentation also.
Yeah, I thought so. And then you
definitely a game to get a kick out of, you know.
Yeah, I love how child friendly it is. Honestly.
Yeah, that too.
I'm not a child, but I just love how, like, this is, I'd give this to my kid.
That's also partly why I said, like, it's so accessible.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is also just really simple to grasp, and oftentimes some of the voices are a little bit like, this is a little too barren for, like, too obvious for even a kid, but, like, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't sit with me as much, but, like, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Munch, munch, munch. You sound like you're gonna say something every time after you go.
No, I was ready for you to keep going.
Oh, okay.
I'm munching.
Yeah. So, anyways, DLC to wrap this up. The little cruise ship part. You get this huge cruise ship level. And they all have different rooms and everything. It's kind of like a maze, but like they're not really interconnected, and you don't get a map. So one of the acts can be pretty frustrating to get through because I'm not going to really go into too much detail, but like it's just really messy.
Seaman.
Like, yeah, it's really messy level design compared to the rest of the game. Well, like concept, they executed the concept. Got new characters, new voice acting. Pretty fun stuff. You also the other fully fleshed DLC is it's called Yakuza Metro, where it's this neo it's this neon type of city filled with cats, and it's like it's outlaws and shit. I'm sure it's based on something, like it's got some wordplay in there. I just don't know what.
Neither do I.
But like that was what I was talking about earlier with like the it's huge open level, but like weirdly linear also.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one's worth playing for sure. Recommend that one over Seal the Deal. But Seal the Deal is pretty good if you want to do Death Wish. So yeah.
I thought you were saying that level sealed the deal of like why you paid for DLC and you felt it was worth it.
No, I had to pay a DLC because there's achievements in it that are in the DLC.
Damn.
But it's fine. I'm glad I'm checking it out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like I recommend it if you played the whole game and enjoyed it and just want some more,
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess you could say about the same for any DLC, but go figure.
Right.
So, the story.
All right.
Like the characters, I guess. You brought it up.
Well, I figured you'd want to talk about it.
Yeah, you said you figured I was going to do that, but you
I don't
brought
have
it
much
up.
for it. Yeah, well, you did sound like you wanted me paying attention to what was going on.
I just wanted you paying attention to the game.
Oh, I was. I had to play it, but this is very much a game that you play and you don't really have to pay much attention to, if you ask me. As far as like story, but
see, if you played all the game and did like all the time riffs with the little pictures at the end, a lot of those pictures are backstories for other characters, just done completely visually, and some of them, fucking sad. Holy shit, this game's sad.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly to do with like with the lore, I guess, if you want to talk about Hat in Time lore, or a backstory of Snatcher and the Subcon Forest, of how that came to be. Also, how Mustache Girl came to be, and Mafia Town.
I love how we didn't even talk about her until now, because she's the main boss.
Yeah, she's like the main antagonist, but I was just like...
She kind of takes a back seat ever since the first chapter, though.
I was going to say that, too. Like, I thought she was going to be much more, like, prevalent in the game.
Yeah, I thought she'd be there throughout.
She's like the rogue, doing things on her own, and then she's like, oh, we can be friends, and then she's like, oh, wait, you have power and you're not using it? Fuck you. We're enemies now. I'm going to steal all your power and then just get rid of all the bad guys, and then she becomes a tyrant, and then, yeah. There you go. That's the plot of Hat in Time summarized.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, but, like, it's very thin.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wish there were more depth with Mustache Girl, but it's fine, as long as it's there, kids can latch onto it and follow it and all that, which I assume is like what the main story is geared for.
Play Spyro.
play Spyro. Is that the recommendation coming?
That's at you. No, it's not.
I don't think I even have it yet.
There's one that I have to give you for next week or 2 weeks from now. It's important that you get it.
I see. Well,
for that number episode.
In about 3 weeks' time, we'll find out what that is.
No, you'll find out today.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant after the next 2 Recs.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Oh, man. Whew. My tummy got empty. It's all rumbling. It's a sign that
well done.
Maybe
here?
we should wrap this up a little bit. We kind of talked about little pieces of everything.
I'm happy with that. I feel like I had something to say.
I'm still I'm wild that you didn't use any of the badges because did you even see what they all are?
I saw that they were helpful.
Like you got the magnet one that like attracts the pawns and health to you, which should kind of be basic, but it's fine. You can
I did get that one.
You can change the sprint hat to be a scooter.
I did that,
which I just have on by default.
That one
you have.
I stopped using it. You know what? You keep talking for a second.
Yeah, you finish your fucking food. You like disgusting cretin. I don't know. You got the map badge where like you can hold still and it points to the nearest collectible, like a time rift or stickers. Oh yeah, they're now because Metro adds stickers to the game too. It's a thing. You can play this game with other people too. There's online parties.
Go up.
Yeah, you can play with 50 other people if you wanted to. Not recommended, but you can. Oh, you know what? How the fuck didn't we bring this up? What do you think of the music?
Pretty dank.
Oh my god. This is why it's a Dark Souls of podcast, guys.
Silence. Pretty dank.
Pretty dank. As he's just chewing on his tuna.
I could tell you were really into it. It's not tuna, man.
I'm not like as amazed by with the music, but I dig it. It's all very simple melodies.
I figured you'd be into all the boss fight stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, I was doing okay, yeah. Yeah, the boss fight stuff's pretty fun. I really like the big band thing in Train Rush. I don't know. It was just a fun kind of intense. I don't like it when video game music is the stressful kind of intense music. Sonic. Well, like unless when it has to be, but like with this game, I don't want fucking like big band stuff.
It kind of was like that during all the boss battles.
During some of them, yeah, it's very mixed bag when it comes to that. But like I appreciated when it was like the one in Train Rush.
It was pretty epic. But okay, what was I gonna say? I did get the scooter badge, but like I said, I didn't know for a long time that you could even like go and manually change your badges, and I didn't do it much after I figured out. I should have just paid to equip 2 badges, but there was one time where I didn't have enough of the currency, whatever it was called.
Pawns.
Yeah. To open a level. So after that happened, I was really stingy with them. So I didn't want to buy the thing that let me equip 2 badges.
Every time some character or part in the game where it was like, hey, this costs pawns, I was just like, even if I had the like exact amount, I was just like, all right, sure. This progresses the game, sure.
Yeah, but
you're taking it from me now or later. Might as well beat it now.
I was worrying about finishing the game in time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I could progress by opening levels instead of having to backtrack. So I was trying to save them. But then at the end, I had like 1,000, so I could have easily spent the 50.
It's pretty cool that they how they did the level layout with telescopes and shit.
Yeah.
Little things orbiting them. It's fucking neat.
Felt like warp rooms in Crash.
And a lot of the music is just a bunch of different variations that just fade in and out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got that immediately from booting up the game. Like, going into the spaceship, like, hub area, and there's that little, there's the game dodecahedron.
Yes.
Which I thought was cute. But yeah, you go by that and it plays the same melody, but it's a dog barking, yeah.
I thought this was a great way to make a modern game like this. Very derivative in all the best ways, because they took the formulas.
Well, it's derivative to the point where it's its own thing now, which
Yeah, and they
is art.
they made it. Yeah, you could tell they cared about this a lot of heart in it. And you can tell that. Or not, you can tell. I was saying, like, this is an example of, like, they took something that's tried and true, but, like, they did it fucking well, and that's what matters.
See, this is another example. Yet another example of why I'm just gonna start migrating to playing indie games as opposed to AAA games, like out of the big studios, because chances are the regular
they cared
people,
about it.
Yeah, they fucking care about it to the point where they'll actually make it quality and not rush it out for Christmas and just fill with bugs and it's just constant bullshit and microtransactions. I'm getting really tired of AAA games. I'm like,
I can tell.
Yeah, that's just total side note. Just I'm pretty sick of them. It's just oversaturating, game which is already oversaturated with just more shit, and a lot of gamers will just eat it up because it's things to do, buttons to press.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I shot a zombie in the head. That means it's a good game.
Oh yeah, quick before we get into like rating and finishing up, just like another little annoying thing for me here and there was the camera. I don't know if you had trouble with the camera.
Oh my god, yep.
The camera
I don't know how I have trouble with the camera because I'm playing with a fucking mouse. Like, you'd think that would get rid of it.
The camera was a bitch.
No, the camera still is like, you know what? We're going to zoom in way on you and not let you see what's going on.
And it showed like what's behind me a lot. Like it was just had a fucking mind of its own.
Yeah, you were playing on a controller, so I can only imagine how much worse it was.
Death by camera.
But like,
it wasn't like, it didn't ruin my whole experience. It didn't make it unplayable or anything, but it's definitely worth pointing out.
I mean, cameras in those 3D platforming games can be really tough to work with, as shown by Mario 64 and Sunshine, where they're still trying to like figure that out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sly did it pretty
like
good.
Mostly the camera worked fine. It's just the times where it doesn't. It's just really like, okay,
and
please zoom out a little.
Sly and Spyro do it really well. Spyro
Spyro mostly are fixed camera.
Yeah, Spyro has two options, and you can do passive or active camera, and I don't like it when it's passive. Active means like it's always right behind you. And I think like that's just kind of what you should do for a game that's like of this what it's spatial. I can't think of words.
It's spatial.
Yeah. Anyway,
you're spatial.
Anyway, I had to get that out. I had to get a few.
I would say it's still not even, the camera's still not even as problematic as the camera in Dark Souls, believe it or not.
I wouldn't be that familiar, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, because you would actually get like much worse consequences from a non-functioning camera than a hat in time.
Yeah, that's where like if you do suffer a bullshit death in this game, at least it's not putting you back anywhere really.
Speak for yourself, mister.
What do you mean?
I gotta do Death Wish. That thing is right full of bullshit deaths.
Oh, okay. I was saying it doesn't put you back too far.
Yeah. Remember the you're talking about the conductor boss fight.
Conductor.
Yeah, where you fight the conductor.
I guess so. Yeah.
He's got the knives and shit and the disco ball. Imagine that times like I don't know 10. And that's Death Wish.
So
just, there you go. Fuck you.
How were the bosses? Because the first boss was the hardest for me, actually.
What? Okay, wait. Who's your first boss?
The Mafia one?
Really? Just the Tower Mafia? That was hard for you.
It was the one that I died to the most. I don't remember. I don't really remember what the boss battle was like, but I know I died the most there.
It was on this tower of barrels, and then there was just 3 Mafia people coming to beat you up, and then he starts chucking the barrels down. And which, by the way, I love how I think you're talking about a different one. You're talking about like the big Mafia dude on the stage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't really remember what the fight was like, but I died the most there. The second boss, the conductor, I died like 3 or 4 times. Third boss, I didn't die. The ghosty guy. The guy who takes your soul.
Snatcher. Refer to them by their names, please.
No, I don't know their names. Actually, no. I did die once.
I was able to refer to you like most of the Lord of the Rings character names.
You wrote them down.
Yeah, nothing stopped you from writing them down.
Except I didn't want to. But
nice.
I did die to him. I died to him once or twice, but like generally he was easiest for me. And then you saw how I did against the last boss. I died,
which you did much better
a couple
than me
times.
in that last boss.
Yeah,
I died to her like quite. I died to her like maybe 5 times. I was just sick of her fucking shield.
Okay, yeah.
I kept throwing it and it kept barely missing, and I was so unsure of like what's gonna qualify this to hit. Because a few times I tossed the apple like way away from her, not even close, and her shield just dropped anyway.
A game like this,
I was just like, wait, what?
A game like this, I'm not going to struggle with much, but I'm going to have a lot of fun, so it's perfect. Like,
so maybe don't check out the Death Wish DLC. Get the Yakuza one then.
Yeah.
Though, yeah. Because, like, that they also, like, put that mafia boss on steroids, and yeah, he's, I couldn't get through him normally.
Oh, God. Is that everything?
Pretty much. I don't know. We talked about it quite a bit.
We did. It was cool. It was we went through all of it. Well, not all of it, but we did a good job.
There's just so much shit to unpack from here, and it's always the same like kind of response, you know, like when you go from one level to the next, it's just like, oh, nice, we're getting this now. You kind of get that with some DLC, yeah, and just as you progress the game and play it more. Because like you can actually like have some quick like reply things in online. You can have a whole message wheel where the kid says hi, bye, or boop.
What do you think?
Or peck. I love how they use peck as a cuss word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peck.
That's
peck
what I said in the interview in one of the things. I didn't know what it meant, and then I said peck, and they're like, oh, and then I got a bunch of fans.
Oh, did you get a trophy for it?
I don't remember.
You should have. You should have that. That would have given you a trophy for it.
Okay.
It's just if you put a swear word or peck in one of those things, it'll pop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, not that. I didn't. No, I meant like for those I just wrote dumb shit. But for there's a part where you're like you're trying to get like a bunch of fans by doing like photo ops and all that shit. And like one of them gives you an interview and like it gives you a few responses, and I just wrote peck because it was at the bottom.
Oh.
And then he was like, and I was like, what? It didn't register that's what that was. That's pretty funny. What was your favorite area?
Good question, honestly.
Mine was probably chapter 3.
Honestly, I can't go wrong with Mafia Town.
Really? That was one of my least favorites.
Well, just because like there's lots of things that you can like jump on and like just explore through.
Yeah.
Like the Battle of the Bird stuff, it's pretty neat, but they're all like super linear.
I didn't care much.
I don't really get the urge to replay them. It was nice to go through though. Like I was like the way it presented it. Just doing it through the story, I was like, this is great.
I agree.
Subcon Forest, I love the atmosphere. The level, though, is pretty spaced out, so there's just a lot of, like, driving around on the scooter.
I like the different shit going on there. That was probably my favorite place.
I like the little village area, and also, yeah, the Alpine skyline is also pretty cool, but, like, it kind of was like, this level came out of nowhere in terms of style.
Yeah.
It feels like this should be the DLC.
I didn't like the Mafia people, so I was happy that...
I love the Mafia people. They're hilarious.
I thought that the whole game was going to be Mafia because that was the first thing you're introduced to, so I thought they would be a constant thing, and I was like, like, if that's all the game's going to be is you go, like, a bunch of places, and then they're like, Mafia don't like this, and then I was just like... I was happy to see...
Mafia don't like this.
I was happy to see that they had variety. I was real happy about it.
I knew there was going to be a variety.
So yeah, my favorite place was probably the forest area.
Slipcon Forest.
and then the movie set place. But I didn't like what I didn't like about the movie set place, and we are gonna finish here in a second, but I didn't love the addition of like the flashlight guards, essentially the guys who you can't step out in front of, because you'll get caught in the mission line.
I thought it was fine.
I never liked those.
Yeah, you're biased in that way.
Yeah,
like even if it's a well implemented stealth like level, you're just nope stealth, Nino likey.
No. So
it's a fine level.
I didn't have too much trouble with that, but it always annoys me because I'm a go gamer when I game.
Then go around them.
Yeah, go to the polls. Okay. Anyway, I guess I'm rating it.
Yeah, give your closing thoughts also.
I gave a lot of thoughts today. I think it's a solid ass fucking platformer. I think it's better than Mario Sunshine, what I played of it. It's like a lot more of a Spyro than a Knack. 8 out of 10.
More of a Spyro than a Knack. There you go. The quote from James for the year. Yeah.
Play Spyro, by the way.
I'm clearly like all about this game. Maybe
There's some
not
clunk.
as much.
There's some clunk to it.
Not as much.
That's
the DLC.
where my points are.
The clunk really comes out with the DLC.
Okay.
That's for sure.
There's a lot of love to it.
It's
also.
Yeah. There's they really put attention into this to really just give you like the same like amount of quality throughout like each level. Like there's none that really dip down like below a certain standard of it. You know, it's very consistent with it. You get some neat little characters, fully voiced, so that's always fun. Except the hat kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just something here for everyone. Easily get a kick out of it. Oh, one thing I also like thought of and realized, for those of you who care about it, what's neat, I guess, is the hat kid. You know, looking at them, they're not really any gender specific. So like, if that's something you care about, then there you go.
I thought hat kid was female. I didn't know.
Yeah, you could assume that, but like, you really know? You're
androgynous,
really
ambiguous.
Yeah, it's a kid. You know, you're gonna look like you're
a kid.
Yeah, you're gonna look that cute when you're like 6, maybe. Some kids are ugly as fuck.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know. Just because the kid's got long hair, I don't know, man. I got long hair.
Sounded like Kirby. Okay.
Boop.
No, she. Well, now I was gonna say she, but now I don't know. Made a noise like at one point, and it sounded like Kirby.
Yeah, she kind of does.
Yeah,
when I think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I cut you off.
I mean, I tangented myself. Yeah, there's a lot of neat things to talk about with the game. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10.
How do you feel now?
Strong 8.
How do you feel now that we've talked for 2 recs in a row about your rec significantly longer than mine?
Well, I mean, mine's a game, so it should
yeah, but the
longer.
last one was an album, and mine was also an album, and mine got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but my album's better. No,
we were timed on that one.
Well, so. I do wish I got across like how much I enjoyed that album, like more so than I think I let on in the show.
Yeah, the Crane Wife, that is.
Well, there is more to unpack.
I wanted to hear you say more about it, but we only had like 10 minutes, so too bad.
We got the bare basics out of the way.
Yeah, we rated it the same. Anyway,
here we can talk more about your rec next. Wait, no, never mind. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's good.
One of these times.
It's gonna depend what you're giving me.
You're gonna get some simple stuff.
You're gonna get a simple one,
but you're not getting one. You're not getting a simple one now.
You're getting one that's easy. Oh wait, what do you mean?
Well, like not as simple as what's coming.
Let's do this. We're going to now talk about what we're doing next week. And then we're going to give Rex. What are we doing next week?
Yeah, good question.
We're going to try this. It's going to sound very broad and vague and like, oh boy. We've done unpopular gaming opinions.
Oh no. Now
it's time for unpopular music opinions. I thought
we were going to do an unpopular gaming's opinion V2.
No.
And I'm like, I thought it would all be you.
That could, yeah, I was going to be like, that can be something that you suggest for one of these if you want, but
I don't really have many unpopular gaming opinions, I think.
I'm saying unpopular music opinions, and yeah, I don't really know what that means either, so why don't you tune in next week and find out.
Great. So we're going to find out what that means.
Well, we did last time. We were like, well, this can mean anything. Like, I like this game that people don't like, but it could also be something about the design. You, for example, there are like fucking 20 instruments you have a hate boner for no reason, so there you go.
What do you mean? Okay,
just bring that shit up.
No.
You can talk about whatever.
Those aren't unpopular.
I mean,
for
hating an instrument is a pretty unpopular opinion.
No.
Most people are just like, it's an instrument. You
no,
fucking
most
freak.
people hate most people hate a lot of instruments. I know a lot of people that talk about how much they hate the sound of violin, and that to me is dumb, but I can understand why. Because they say it sounds scratchy, and that's essentially what the instrument is. You scratch it. So, like, sure, it can have some unpleasant quality to it.
You could have,
but like the instruments I hate are shit like the slide whistle. Who's making a case for a fucking slide whistle? Tell me.
Me.
Who's like, oh, I need more kazoo. Actually, I love kazoo, but like, that's whistling. That ain't slide whistling.
We'll talk about it next week. And we'll figure out what we've come up with.
Yeah. Anyways.
And now on to recommendations. You're giving first.
Oh, recommendations.
You said you're giving me a hard one. I don't know.
No,
if
I'm
that
not getting
means...
a hard one. No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if that meant it's hard to talk about or hard to accomplish, like getting it done over 2 weeks.
It's gonna be easy. You're getting more music.
Okay, so are you. Another double music. Yours has to be music because I've saved it for the episode number.
I've just got more of that now, like piled up onto here.
Yeah, this is a detour because there's other shit I want to give you, but I have to do this one now or never. So.
Detour. Again, shit that's new for me that I want to share with you. I think you'll enjoy it more. Like now that I'm getting more of a sense of what your tastes are and all that. I think we might both get a kick out of it or like it as much. But it's time. It's time we do it.
Okay. I think I know.
You don't know. I don't think you do know. You're getting a Rush album.
Oh, okay. That's so funny. Because I considered giving you a Rush album.
That's funny. What?
I didn't know not because I listened to Rush, but just because I knew you would like Rush.
I was going to say, oh, that's funny. Yeah. I do like Rush quite a bit.
I know your taste, and there's stuff that I could give you, but some of that stuff's not like as big my thing, but like I'm gonna give this a chance. So
I finally listened to an album. Oh, I think you'll really dig this one. The one I listened to.
They have so many albums, it's hard to pick it too.
It's Moving Pictures.
Okay.
2011 remaster.
Moving Pictures. I think I listened to that one once, but I don't remember anything. So
yeah, you've heard Rush, I guess now.
Yeah, their song was in Rock Band 2, The Trees. Good shit. The Trees, it's a good song.
The Trees.
Listen to that. But that's not my rec. Rush, Moving Pictures. They have like 20 albums, which is also why you didn't get a rec from them. They might have more than that. They might have like 40 albums because I was looking for one that I liked that I could rec you a while back, and then I was like, there's too many.
It'll be fun to go through then because
they're Dan's favorite band.
I can understand why. I see it.
Yeah.
Like immediately with this first album. I don't know, man. Like my hand's already shown, but I guess that's how it's gonna be when it comes to music recs. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna be liking the music.
And I'm gonna give you something
more Crane Wife, right?
No,
more Crane Wife.
No,
wait. You know what? No, give me. Where's all the Oasis at? We're like. You haven't given me a single one. We've been like nearly 60
because
in.
you don't like Oasis.
Who said that?
You.
No, I didn't. I didn't like Liam.
Yeah, who sings like most of their songs. I'm giving you an album. It's a double dip. It's
Radiohead.
No, it's not Neutral Milk Hotel. I'm joking.
Radiohead.
No. The Gaslight Anthem.
Oh.
It's been a long time. So yeah, Gaslight Anthem means it's gonna be an easy listen. I don't know where your thoughts are gonna lie on this. I think I chose the right one for you last time, but this is a a favorite, a good old classic, and it's going to fit the 59th episode. It's a 59 sound. I thought you would pick up on that because I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before. You'll recognize some songs on here.
I don't think I've heard you talk about like I haven't heard it before, but
you've heard songs from here. The 59 sound, the song you've definitely heard before. So yeah. We're gonna chat about that. I gave you Get Hurt forever ago, and this is a pretty different album. This one's a lot more.
I just read one of the titles. Even cowgirls get the blues.
Even cowgirls get the blues.
It's just so funny to me.
This is like a lot more like Bruce Springsteen-y kind of. That's what
I don't have a sound to attach that to.
People like to say that this is their Bruce Springsteen album. So, it's also the one that he played a song with them live from. So that's pretty neat. Classic James right here.
Yeah, so far. I think I'll dig more classic James rather than new, like, what's this sound, James?
Yeah, maybe.
So far.
We'll see. Because I will say, like, you're not going to get...
I think Crane Wife was also kind of classic James also.
You're not going to get a lot of sound variation on this one. It's going to be, like, kind of a style all the way through.
I mean, I think I could say the same about the Rush album. So,
yeah.
Like, that's fine.
Because, like, I've been kind of giving you stuff where, like, you don't really know what to expect from track to track. But this one, it's more like, yeah, you're going to get a sound and kind of stick with it for the album. So, cool. 2 albums, 2 weeks.
All right, there we go, guys. So that's a longer boy we've gotten out today.
For lately, yeah.
So like, hopefully that'll do us for a bit.
Yeah.
We should talk about games and shit.
Music stuff coming up because we're talking unpopular opinions and then
just music stuff in general. Yep.
Then albums.
Probably going to be that for a little while.
Probably more
stuff
albums
that's backed up.
Yeah, you know most of the shit I have for you is albums. I'm just trying not to overdo it, so I'm trying to throw in a movie here and there. But it'll probably be like movie 2 albums for a while. So, yay.
I mean, I can appreciate movies every now and then.
Yeah.
Not really something I go out of my way to do.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's lacking. But anyways.
Cool. Let's blow out the scandal.
Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all in the next week's episode. Bye-bye. Bye.